us the
Well, we are going on live on Let's Connect Facebook Live. Let's Connect. And
Facebook Live, Let's Connect, and especially if you are subscribed to us, make sure that you join us. All
I
right.
love this
You'll see
topic.
the pop up to let you know that we're there. So just hop on and
This topic is like, mhm, yes, I really actually, I really want to see people, would participate in this one because it's much needed.
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes.
It's a much needed topic. It's something that everyone
Hmm.
talks about. We've all been talking about it. If you are a woman, you have experienced it. You know, you have experienced it. I guarantee it. So you can't get away from it. So we want to chat about that today. And in case you're wondering what that is our topic, our main topic for today is, can women work together successfully? And what do you say about that, Reese? Because we are women and we are working
I'm
together.
gonna wait until I'll wait until
Okay, so that's just a little teaser for everybody right now. That's just a
you
little.
know that Reese have lots to say. If y'all think that
Oh,
I didn't have anything to say, y'all thought
yes,
what?
yes, yes.
Yes. So, I'm just realizing that your hairstyle has changed.
Oh, yes, my dear.
Okay.
Oh, yes. You know, us women, we have to keep it different.
I want to know what's going on up there. What's going on up there? I mean, you've always been cheerful and everything and looking good, but what's up with today?
Wait, you don't like it?
I do. That's what I'm saying. The
Okay.
lipstick changed.
You
The
know,
lip
every now and then we have to just change it up a little bit. We have to keep everybody guessing, and the
about that, but
surprise is good. You change up your hairstyle, and you can't be the same every day,
every day.
right?
Yes, I
Can't be
agree.
the same every day. It's got to be a little different. Come on now.
Yes.
And I hope you guys like it. Send us your comments. Listen,
Comments on Carol's here.
comment
On
on
Carol.
my her today. But hey, listen, you guys can be honest, but you don't have to be mean, okay?
Oh, you're gonna tell her to be honest and not be mean. Be
You
a
can be honest, but you don't have to be
fool.
mean.
Like, go take it off.
You know what I'm saying? I like honesty, but you don't have to be mean now, you know? No
Mhm.
cruelty here. Come on.
Yes,
Let's
yes.
be kind to one another.
You do this weekend when I went to the beach and all of that. And let me tell you, it was so good because we worked so hard. And let me tell you, I acted the fool on the beach and I wasn't even drinking.
Well, I believe that, Reese.
Can you imagine without drinking?
How is that different from any other day? Reese,
All right, proof. We'll show you
you
some
know,
proof. Some people are visual, so they want to see the visual.
I'm sorry, girl. I had to just put you out there.
Oh, it's all good. I get you back. I get you back, right? All right.
Oh, I'm
What
scared
you did?
now. I'm scared now, girl.
What did you do?
Over the weekend, I really didn't do anything. It was quiet for me.
Okay.
A lot of time spent with this virtual learning stuff. You know how that goes.
Yep.
Um,
Everybody's doing that, so
yeah,
the norm. It gets
yeah,
tedious at times. I tell you, being on a computer 24, I mean, all the time, it really gets to you.
it does. And unfortunately, sometimes I feel like I torture my poor kid because it's hard enough for the kids who are going through this, but then if she didn't get a chance to do something during the week, then on the weekend it's like, where's the list of stuff? We've got to work on this. We've got to get this done. Where are we with this? And it's like, by the time I'm done, I'm exhausted. She's exhausted. Everybody's exhausted.
Yeah, but as I said, I have to take out time. You have to take out time for that. You
Yeah.
understand? It was really good. And it was Kim, me, Kim, and Nadine that went.
Mhm.
So you
Nice.
know it was crazy.
Oh, so you guys had a ton of fun.
Yeah. So let me ask you this now. We're going back to this COVID. We're gonna go sway from the weekend to the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
Did you decide if you're gonna do the vaccine or not?
Um, so I don't want to influence people one way or another. And that's kind of one of the reasons why a whole lot of people are not really saying what they're doing. So this is everyone has to make the decisions for themselves. And we all have to respect each other's decisions and what we decide to do and choose to do. But so I can't tell anybody one way or another, but yes, I'm going to take the vaccine.
Because it's just like, when kids getting vaccinated, there's a lot of um what should I say? There's a lot of arguments out there. Their parents think that kids should not get vaccinated, and you always have that. But I don't know. I don't. My mom called since she and my dad got vaccinated, and my
Okay.
aunt got vaccinated. Everybody's getting vaccinated. What are you waiting on? Like,
My mom got it. My sisters both also because they are
they're on
essential
the front
workers.
line, right?
Yeah, they're essential workers. They are on the front line, so they had to get it, and but they're happy to get it, and their spouses have gotten it as well.
I
So
wonder if you're on the front line and you decide that you don't want to do it. Do they
I don't know about
step you there?
that.
Okay. I don't know,
Yeah.
man. I guess eventually I'll do it. But I mean, I really hope that this is really going to cut down the amount of cases that we have
Yeah.
so we can go back. Because I was watching today, I love my Today Show. I love my Today Show. And I was watching today where this grandmother and her granddaughter or daughter finally got to see each other, and
Oh,
so emotional because it's been a year. They took
right.
the vaccine and everything, and the grandmother was like, "Oh my God, we can take the mask off and hug." So I'm like, for some people, you know, they want to do because they want to see their families and go back to some type of normalcy.
Right.
So
That's the whole thing. That's the idea is to go back to that normalcy that we can enjoy from before the pandemic because it's really sad right now we're all disconnected, from our families and everyone and I yeah, I miss my mom in particular. I miss my mom tremendously. I'm a person that normally, like, I talk to my mom on a daily basis, like every day. There's not a day that would go by. And I would go see her. And since the pandemic, I haven't seen my mom. It's really been difficult.
but
And friends.
she's in the up north with you.
Yeah, my mom
Okay.
lives in New York.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So it's and exactly, right? And can't really see my mom. So
And
it's
this
been
same
tough.
with my grandmother. That's my baby right there.
Yeah.
And we're like 5 hours apart, away from each other, and she's like, you know, I mean, we can't even see each other the way we want to see each other. And even last night, I was talking to her, and she was saying if she wants a particular vaccine, I guess the Johnson & Johnson one,
Yeah.
and if she can't get the Johnson & Johnson one, she's not doing a vaccine, and she's old anyway. So when the Lord is ready to take her, I'm like, Grandma, please. All that came from are you taking the vaccine shot or not?
Well, like I said, it's such an important issue. Um, it's such an important issue, and we should all think hard and long about it. There are a whole lot of people with different views, different ideas about whether or not they're going to take the vaccine. But, everyone has to think for themselves and see how you feel about it and do your research.
Yeah,
People, don't
because
be afraid to research, ask questions, and make that decision for yourselves. It's a risk either way in my opinion. So
yeah,
it's a risk either way. You either you take a risk, you take a chance to say, am I gonna do it? Or depending on how you feel about the vaccine, or am I not going to do it and take my chance with this new strain and all these new strains coming up? Do you take your chance with that thing and see how you fare against it? And really, that's what the decision is. That's where you lie, one or the other. Which it both are risks, and you weigh your risks. What's a more acceptable risk, right?
I don't even take the flu shot just to show you. You know, I
So,
don't.
so for you, then, are you taking the vaccine or not?
I'm leaning towards it. Leaning. I
Okay.
think eventually I'm gonna me and the boys go get it and just call it a day.
Okay.
So it can't hurt.
You know, do your research, like we said.
Yeah, because I'm hearing that, maybe eventually they're gonna for you to travel, you may have to show them your vaccine card and all of that. So I don't know. And because I love to travel, if that's me getting on a plane, then I'm gonna have to get it. Because
You're
I
gonna
don't
have to
want
get
nothing,
it.
I don't want nothing to stop me from going to Jamaica and to see my peoples, or to travel.
I hear you. And that's it right there. Different people have different reasons.
And that's why I'm taking the flu shot because I want to travel.
And whatever your reasons are, it's up to you,
I
and nobody
know.
can judge you for it. If you're taking it because you want to travel, then okay, good for you. If you're
At
taking
least
it
I'm
just
getting a
because
shot, right? At least I'm getting a shot.
at least you're getting the shot. You're trying to protect yourself, because other than that, for me, what I say is, if you don't take it, and you run the risk of having to deal with the COVID on your own, or dealing with the COVID yourself, and seeing how well you do.
My lighting stuff. I'm looking at my lighting for real, and it's not.
So, you know, we're not convincing anybody one way or another, but it's food for thought, and think about your risks. And for some people, if you want to sit down and make a list of your pros and cons, what are the reasons for doing it, what are the reasons for not doing it, and
Yeah,
see which one outweighs the other and how you feel about it, which risk is the heavier one, and then
yeah,
come up with your final decision. But the whole thing is, COVID, it hasn't gone anywhere. It's still out there, just as bad as it was before. And if everybody says, well, we're not taking the vaccine, but we're going to go back out and be with each other,
You know what?
think about that.
It's that nobody talks about HIV anymore. AIDS. Like, you remember how we used to talk about how critical that was? It's
Because
like we
also,
just.
I think,
I'm thinking about it now.
yeah, it's like a learning, it's that's the issue too, right? HIV and AIDS has been around for longer than we're aware of the COVID. We just
Right.
learned about this thing. So right now it's just a new thing. Those things are still in existence.
I know, but the
You know,
way it's looking is like COVID is the only disease on the.
No, it's only because COVID right now
Oh,
is very new. Nobody knows anything about it. We don't know how it behaves really. We don't fully understand it. We don't fully understand all the risks and how to fully protect ourselves against it. There's so many unknowns. While there are still unknowns, I'm sure, with the HIV and all the other STDs and, infectious diseases out there, but they've been around longer. We've had more of a chance to study them, see how they behave, see how we react to it. And again, back to your question of the vaccine, that's one of the reasons why a lot of people are not certain whether they want to take this vaccine, because COVID is so new.
yeah.
It's still so new, but it's a matter of, hmm, what do? Do you wait around to see if you can win that round? You're gonna go into you go step in the ring with the COVID and see who wins, and take the chance. That's kind of like what you're saying. If you say, I'm not taking it, then I'm gonna take my chance to step in the ring with it and see if I come out unscathed or not.
For real. That is so true. So, real quick, my lighting like crazy. I'm gonna step away for a minute.
It's actually, you actually look good, my dear.
You know,
So
I
no worries. No
okay.
worries. It's kind of like the same thing it was last week. So
All
let's
right,
just
if you said so.
continue. It's all right. You look good.
All right. All righty. So
Yeah.
said our
So did we tell people what our topic is for today?
yes, I
Did we tell you guys you're here with us? It's Carol and Reese. As usual, every week we are here. Our show is called Let's Connect, and we love to connect with you. That's when we take the opportunity to connect with you guys. We're here. We chat with you, we connect with you, and you know what our motto is: more compassion, more empathy, and less judgment. That's what we're here for. But today, we're going to talk about women working together successfully. And we're so excited to chat about that. Everybody has an opinion. And I want to encourage you. And Reese, here's your chance to comment.
I don't need no reason. I
Yeah, right.
when I
Oh,
want
and you
to.
don't need any encouragement from me because you're going to do it regardless. So here's my time that I'm taking to encourage everybody to say, people, call in. Call in. We want to hear from you. We want to hear
Stop.
your thoughts. We want to hear from you.
I'm begging you.
I am
If you
begging you.
have, if you have any idea how much this
All
means,
right, all right, all right, all right. Stop,
Carol Tanya,
stop.
please come on. We will send you the Zoom link so you can join us because that will make Carol's.
You make my day.
You
When
guys don't
we
know
hear
what you
from
did
you.
last week when she saw over 50 views
All
of that
right, Reese.
show.
Come on now. You
Putting it out there.
about our BTS,
She
our behind
was
the scenes stuff.
no, we want
Okay.
that.
So
We
leave that
want that.
BTS. You put my business out on the street.
We want that. We want people to view our show. Come on now.
So we're excited, particularly moi.
Yes.
Very excited when I hear from you guys and when you comment. Last week we had such an amazing show and we had a lot of people who participated and who were excited and we loved it. And we had, of course, people who loved our guests that came on and chatted with us. And we had our amazing financial advisors. One of them is also listening to us live right now. Shout out to Brett Burrows, financial advisor extraordinaire.
Hello.
Hi,
Hello.
Brett. We see you. Our amazing, wonderful financial advisor. He came on and he broke it down for us about your investments and all that stuff. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, go out to our YouTube page. Let's Connect. That's Connect with a K. Head out to our YouTube page. Check them out. You will hear what they had to say and how they broke it down for you. And their contact information is on our YouTube page for our show last week.
All
And
right. And if you want to join us, if you want to join us on Zoom and give you a little 2 pence or your opinion or what, or, maybe you went through a situation, you can Zoom and you put in the meeting code 718-070-5867 and the passcode is 2264. Come on in. Come on in or Zoom. Once again, if you want to join us by Zoom, our meeting ID number is 718-070-5867 and the passcode is 2264. All right? We want to, I mean, this is a topic that has to be discussed.
and we want to hear from you. We jump on our Zoom. Like we said, we're open to everybody. We're open to your comments, your thoughts, but we are a sharing and a caring show. So no bashing, no negative comments like bashing people. We want to hear your thoughts, but be kind to each other. All right. That's what we do here on this show. So jump on in, come with us. We want to hear from you.
All righty. So with that being said, you want to start off? Let me tell you, I am a woman of empowerment, right? I love to empower women, and
Of
I
course.
think it is necessary. for us to work. It can happen.
Absolutely.
Women can work together and not have cat fights and the this and the that and the jealousy. And but first we have to get it out of that. Thought has to come out before anything can work.
Yeah.
That's the first thing. The
I
jealousy. And I think that's the most common, that's the problem. Jealousy.
Well, we want to dig in a little bit today about that jealousy issue and why. So, I want to start off with a little intro, right? And what I want to say to that is I saw something online at Miss Career Girl, right? That's just a site and that does a blog, Miss Career Girl. And I want to kind of mention what is said there. It says anger, definitely, anger can be a motivator, right? And right now, women have plenty of reasons. We know this. We have plenty of reasons to be angry and frustrated, not just right now, from the dawn of time, because we have so many things on our plates. We handle families, we handle careers, we handle social lives. We come home and then we still have to start our 24-hour job starts again as soon as we get home. So we never get to put anything down. We always have these responsibilities. So we have plenty of reasons to be frustrated and tired and stressed and angry. However, what I want to say is we weaken our ability to make a change if we allow ourselves to be derailed by our differences as women, right? Because we're all different. We have all the same responsibilities, but we are different. And we're different because we have different ethnicities, different socioeconomic status, we have different races, different nationalities, gender identities, attitudes, and it runs the gamut. So we have so many differences, but we cannot allow anger and frustration to take a hold of us and derail us. But what we need to be doing as women, we need to acknowledge our differences. And at the same time, we need to focus on what are the things that we have in common, right? As women, because we have a lot. What are the things that we have in common? And how do we partner with each other for some measure of equality in our skills and bonding together, relationships? How do we partner together? And if we are lucky, people, if we're lucky, men may help us. Notice I say may. I don't say will. I say maybe they'll help us. But the women ourselves, we have to lead the way and ask ourselves, like, for what we want. Ask each other for what we want. And honestly, this is where our greatest strengths are going to lie, in us women asking ourselves these questions and getting together and talking about our differences and respecting our differences.
But
So
you
that's
said,
how I wanted to start out.
but you said something about maybe men will help us.
Yes.
Do you realize that men don't go through that?
So
I've yet to
they
see,
have
I've
other issues.
yet to hear a man talk about the way how, I haven't heard anything.
Right. So there are different issues that men face. I'm not going to say men don't have any problems. They have different types of issues. But women, this is a predominantly a female issue and a female question that is rampant among women. Why we have this issue among females in general, because that's where it mostly lies. A lot of times men are, I would say, and I've read this in so many different places, quote unquote, men are more forthright and forthcoming, with how they feel about things. A lot of times women are not. We're very emotional beings, and we're not always forthright and forthcoming with some of the things that we say. We have different methods and means of expressing ourselves, you know. But we're going to go into some of that as well.
I mean, I've worked all my life with females, and I've never, thank you, knock on wood, I've never had a problem with, you know, working with other females, or them, you know putting any jealousy towards me, or not that I know of.
You've never experienced it,
Oh,
or you've never been aware of it, maybe.
that's what I'm saying. I've never experienced it, or maybe it's there, and I, knowing me,
You just didn't pay
maybe right up in my face and don't even know it, because I am like that. So maybe,
Okay.
maybe
So
you know,
either, because you're saying you're not, you never faced it, or you've never been aware of
not
it.
aware of people, you
Okay.
know.
Well, good for you. Good for you. That's awesome, Reese. Um, I know for me, I have experienced it, I have noticed it, and I have been dragged, honey. I have been dragged by
Oh,
other women.
really?
Yes, when I say dragged, I mean viciously. If I wasn't as tough as I was, I would be done for. So I faced it for
Give me
many,
an
many, many.
example of, if you may, give me an example of what you went through.
Oh, I have so many
No, just, yeah, I mean, like, just to have an idea of,
of what women may go through.
yeah,
Well, let's talk about in the workplace. A
right.
lot of times, women, for me, and everybody who knows me and the friends that I have, my personal friends, they know me. They say this about me. I can be a strong personality, right?
Type A,
What'd you say?
type A.
I am a strong personality, and a lot of times, so you have either women who have strong personalities, some of them are not as vocal, etc., and more reserved in their thought patterns or how they express themselves. And a lot of times, women, if you have, for me, I had a strong personality oftentimes, and I've worked in corporate America, as you know, for my entire life, and with in a senior capacity with executives, this and that. So you have to be a certain way, and so immediately you're perceived a certain way. When you walk in the room, you present yourself a certain way. So some people, they take that differently, and it's how they respond to you. And then all of a sudden you're seen as the enemy, or you're seen as the B word because you are too aggressive. And for me, I have the added thing besides gender is ethnicity or race or whatever. I'm seen as the angry Black woman because you're vocal. So I've been faced with that my entire life. That's one thing. And then all of a sudden, there are people competing with you when you just want to make you not necessarily friends, but you want to have a good working, successful working relationship with folks. And they're just perceiving you as something completely different because all of a sudden is a competition. And it takes a whole left turn.
Okay. Yeah, I've never.
Yeah, and now you're getting undermined, undercut. That happened to me a lot. Undermined, undercut, people competing with me for no good reason. I'm finding out later on that there was all this competition. Um, I've been dragged in meetings. I'm fully prepared. You come in and you talk about, whatever the subject is, and all of a sudden you have someone disagreeing openly with everything that you're saying just for the sake of doing it. And it's like, wait, am I in the Twilight Zone? What's
Yeah.
happening? So those are some examples for me personally that I've been through.
Okay. And I lied first before I tell the lie. When I sit down and lied about, I just realized. Let me welcome my fabulous friend, Miss Stacy and Drummond. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hello, hello, Stacey Ann. Do we call you Stacy or Stacey Ann?
You're mute.
You're on mute.
You're mute.
You're
You're mute.
muted.
Oh, okay. Let's do this again.
Let's
Hi,
do it again.
ladies. Hi.
Hello. Welcome.
Thank you. I was just as soon as I came on and I heard you were speaking and I started doing this.
You see?
Yes.
Because I can relate. I can definitely relate. So, how are you doing,
We're doing
both of you?
good. We're doing good.
Doing great. You know, for
Oh,
me, I'm on the East Coast, so New York, New Jersey area, so my weather is
Thirsty.
not as great, but I live.
Wednesday, I have to show off on our beautiful weather that we have down here, Stacy.
Yes,
yes,
showing off and
yes.
rubbing it. You're in Florida too, Stacy?
I am. I'm in
Oh,
South Florida. Yes, I am.
I'm so jealous.
What can I say?
I'll make it there one day.
Yes, yes, for sure.
And also, Miss Stacy and Drummond is going to be our spotlight girl today on her business.
Yes.
Get to hang with Stacy. Listen, if this is the way I gotta hang with my friend by a Zoom radio interview, you would have never think that we live in the same city, okay?
I know.
We live literally a few minutes away from each other, but
Wow.
there's so much going on. And
Yeah,
in all actuality, sometimes I honestly think, I'm like, is Andrea here in Florida or is she in another state? That girl travels. So that's always the question. Whenever my phone rings, I answer, hey, Andrea, are you here in Florida?
She's always zipping around somewhere.
Yes. When I grow up, I want to be just like
I want
that.
to be
Yes.
just like her. Huh? Yep. Yep. Well, guess what? She said, listen, if we can't get together actually, physically, we're going to get together virtually. So you are here, my dear Stacy. And so if you can tell for the rest of our listeners, we have listeners, as we talked about on this show, we are called Let's Connect. We are a talk radio, but we have listeners all across the nation, as well as in Jamaica.
Great.
Yeah. So if you can tell us, who you are, what do you do, so we can chat with you and get that out of the way.
Okay, perfect. So, and I'll tell you this before I say anything else. You asked me initially, which name do I prefer to be addressed by, whether Stacy or Stacy Ann? And I always emphasize Stacy. Why? Because as we know in Jamaica, when your parent call you by your full name, especially if there's an Ann or a K or something of that sort, it means that you're in trouble. And true story, whenever I hear Stacy Ann, I perk up. I'm like, ugh, what did I do? Like, am I in trouble or something?
Yes.
So I always say, go ahead, address me as Stacy. I'm perfectly fine with that. Yeah, so it is Stacy Ann Drummond, and I live here in South Florida. And I heard you mentioned as well that you worked in corporate. I have as well. I worked actually as a classroom teacher in Jamaica. I was a classroom teacher. I came here to the States and I worked in corporate training. And then I moved into human resources. And then I went into real estate. So currently I'm a realtor serving the Tri-County area, Port St. Lucie, Palm Beach County, and Miami-Dade. No, 4. It's Palm Beach, Port St. Lucie, Broward, and Miami-Dade. Yes.
All right.
So that's what I do.
Very good. So welcome everyone. Listen, we're gonna go into, Stacy's gonna later on go into her business and the business spotlight. But for now, as she fits the mold for what we're talking about, which is women who are working, and can we work together successfully? Right. So have you ever had any, so you worked in corporate America. So I'm sure, Stacy, you and I have experienced this. Miss Reese has claimed she has not noticed this because she's just, she's zen. She never notices anything. She's cool. Nothing touches her.
That's great. I want to get there. I'm working on getting there.
I want to be like her when I grow up.
Yes.
Are you guys hearing me? You hearing me?
Yes.
I hear you now.
All right, let me tell you something, Missy, over there. No, when I heard your example, you know that couple.
Turn your audio up just a little.
Yeah.
You're low.
Are you hearing me better?
Better.
Okay. Yes. So when I heard your example, Carol, I'm
Mhm.
like, okay, it may not have been as extreme as that, but I did encounter something like that. Actually, it was recently with my Stacy knows too, because I do the woman in elite. We do the elite woman business,
Mhm.
and I actually got feedback. Somebody came to me and was telling me stuff that I had implemented, and she thought that I was the one that was copying her on it when it was nothing like that. And
Okay.
right, so that was, but me, I wouldn't think of it as her being jealous or, I just don't think like that. So
Mhm.
maybe,
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right, right.
Friends like Miss Stacy open up my eyes. Something,
Yes.
she definitely, because I just take things as I see them. I'm not like,
Yeah,
you understand? So it's a learning experience. I don't know.
it is. It is. What I will say about that is sometimes it's really subtle. Um, People, I've experienced a lot of passive aggression from other females. So sometimes it can literally just pass you by and you have to like stop for a second and just think within yourself, did that just happen? Sometimes it's so subtle that it's hard for you to even put into
Yeah.
words
Right.
to express that this person is treating you aggressively because it's so subtle. And sometimes in our culture, people will refer to it as shade, you know, and just trying
That
to
shade
block
that went
you.
right over me.
Yes, and it did. And I'm speaking to your situation specifically where you were you because of the person that you are, you get taken advantage of a lot because you are such a giver. And the problem with givers is that
You
a
have
lot of
a whole
times
lot of
people
takers.
just take takers, and you attract those people naturally. And what they do is they take and take and take until they deplete everything that you have, then they move on to the next victim.
Yes.
So that was, and I'm always an advocate for people who, because your kindness is often people use it as, or see it as a weakness. It is not fair to you. And I mean, partnering with another female, another woman, we live in a society where women are considered the weaker gender, and we know that's not true.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
know that.
I don't know
But
who came up with that.
because it's just the male ego, physically they are stronger, or most
Right.
of them are stronger, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually, we're right there. We are natural organizers. We're
Yeah.
natural fixers. We're nurturers.
And
Whatever
we
you give
actually
us, we
handle
take.
more stuff, believe it or not. And this, we're not male bashing at all,
No,
but there's so much more that women have to handle, because when I tell you, having babies, that by itself, let me tell you, we can lose our lives in that process. Number one. Number two, it does so much to us
our
physically,
bodies, yes,
physically,
emotional,
emotionally, everything.
psychological, everything.
And we just have to push them babies out and keep going.
Keep it going. That is
Keep
true. And
going.
sometimes by ourselves,
And sometimes by ourselves, exactly, and handle everything else and get back to work. And half the time our bodies are in shock because, I know I still have not recovered from that process, because you're now sharing your body with another human being. It's like, people don't sometimes think about the magnitude of what that means
Right.
to a whole nother human being that is
Yes.
surviving off of your body at the same time you're surviving off of it. And it's like, oh my goodness, it's an amazing thing. And it affects us tremendously. And some of us never recover
It
mentally,
is true.
emotionally,
Or
physically.
psychologically. And
We
it
never.
is a lot. It is a lot.
Yeah.
And to think that we are already faced with these things, but the mere fact that we're female, we have to deal with all these different things that we have absolutely no control over.
Mhm.
And then we in turn fight against each other.
Yes.
That is sad. That is the kicker for me.
Right.
To look at another woman and to think that you have to compete with this person in order to get to where you need to be.
Yeah.
We need to help each other to grow.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
Teamwork.
I want
Team.
to dig into that a little more, but I want to go back to where you started, right, Stacy and Reese? I want to go back to where we started to say, like, okay, what are some of the reasons before we jump into what we need to do? Because I want to talk to that too. But what do you think are, let's list some of the reasons why women do not work well together, especially, for instance, in the workplace.
Okay, so I'll go. So one of the things that I have identified as the main reason for me, no, and I'm not backing this up with absolutely any merit whatsoever because I'm not like trained in that area. But what I've noticed is a lot of times females, it's from life experiences.
Yeah.
And again, if the first thing is the way you were raised.
Yeah.
You know, if you were raised among other women who support each other naturally, you will act in that manner.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I've noticed. And two, that the competitiveness comes from a lack of self-esteem and a lack of self-confidence because you believe that if I shine, that will dim your shine, Carol.
Yeah.
If I am in the spotlight, then guess what? That dims my shine. So I have to make sure that I keep you at a certain level.
Yep.
And some people can't see themselves beyond a certain, and I'm using this word a lot for want of a better word, level, because of that, they try to pull you down to where they are.
Yep.
So that's what I've noticed. It's all about self. It's all about self. The way a person treats you is a total reflection of what they think of themselves.
Yes.
But it's working with with women is not always gonna be peaches and cream and roses and whatever. Me and Carol can attest to that, right?
Right.
Me and Carol, let me tell you, we butt head because she's Miss Perfectionist. Everything got to be perfect, and
I need you on my team, Carol.
Let me tell you, and I am Miss.
You can't stand me for it. She's Miss La La La, peaches and cream, and I'm like, nope, nope, nope. Check the box, dot the I, cross the T's. Nope, I need to see it outline. Where's the plan? Where's the strategy? And she's going, ah!
Right, and then listen, and then we butt heads. And we do this and whatever. And by the time we get on the show, what's up, girl? And it's not a fake thing. We resolve our issues.
Exactly. And we move on.
And that's a healthy relationship.
We know that there's going to be more opportunities to do this. So, this is how it is today. And we hash it out, we work it out, we come to a compromise. Okay, what works, what can work for us. And this is how we have to be. And then we move on and then we're like, all right, love, good. Let's go, let's move. We come up with what works for us, a nice compromise, and then we move on because we know that another time it's going to come up again, but we can't just waste time on being negative.
Who win?
Exactly.
Who win?
I win, I win.
That's like the epitome of a healthy relationship because again, you're two individuals, you're separate and apart with your own ideals, your own ideas, and it's also mutual respect that you have for each other, why you're able to deal with that whatever it is that you're going through within that moment and move past it. And you also have to have a clear vision of the bigger picture.
Right.
It's not always about, who has the last say, who wins, but it's not about winning the argument. It's more so resolving the issue and moving on.
Moving on from there. And a lot of women don't guess what? They have
petty.
An argument and then they hold it on.
And start calling in with everybody else.
Exactly.
It's petty. It's that's.
And when you get the gist of it, what was the argument about?
You don't remember?
The
Foolishness.
staple from my desk. I needed to put it back in the right space.
Yeah.
Something simple.
It's really insignificant, small issues that you blow out of proportion, and you may destroy perfectly good relationships, working relationships, professional relationships, for something simple, or a friendship
Right.
for something small. But we let that's what I opened with today. We let our anger sometimes get
Control
in
it.
the way of that. We have to respect the fact that we have differences, socioeconomic
Right.
issues, ethnicities, race,
Our
sexism,
personalities are
gender.
different.
We're all different, and we have to respect our differences. Like Rich
Yes.
and I are night and day.
Right.
Literally night and day. And you can see it sometimes, but we don't let that get in the way, because I'm like, sometimes I have to step back and say, hey, she's gonna do this, so let me make amends or make room for what I know she's going to do, because this is her and this is how she does things. And then she goes, all right, Carol, fine, whatever, I'm done. So she has to step back and make room for me, because and this is how we have figured it's a push and a pull.
Yeah.
Mutual respect.
And it's okay
Mutual
to
respect.
disagree.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, we all
Agree to disagree. Yeah.
yeah,
It
we
happens.
all work into a common
But
thing.
there is no knifing each other later
Right.
on, people. Do not knife one another,
Right.
later on, because that doesn't serve anybody's purpose. You end up,
It doesn't.
you
It
know,
doesn't.
and it sounds very violent and stuff. And I hate to use that analogy, but that's kind of what you're doing, when you're like killing somebody's career professionally, or a friendship. That is what you're actually doing. You're knifing,
It's true.
and it's not
Mhm. It's not. It's not. And oftentimes it's there's always a root cause. Sometimes the as Andrea pointed out, it's minuscule, like so small what the argument is about, and it escalate. Why? Because there's some deep rooted issue, and it's maybe one person who has this, like they don't feel valued. They maybe they're in an abusive relationship. Maybe they're always being talked down to. Maybe, like, I myself had to grow. I've never been someone who tear down another person. I had to grow with regard to the way I respond to someone who's trying to hurt me. So I have a very strong personality. I am loving, I'm kind. Andrea, I don't know if you think this, but you know me. I love people, but if you mess with me, I'm going to make sure that you understand that this is who I am. You can't mess with me, or else, and then my words can be strong in retaliation. I had to grow to learn that you don't have to be, it doesn't have to be tit for tat. It doesn't have to be, you say something bad to me, so I'm going to make sure that I say something worse. As we grow and we mature, we have to get to that place. And being the mother of a daughter, I have to understand that this is an example that I'm setting for her as well, because I don't want her to grow up to be someone who bleed on someone else because my mom showed me this. So you have to be able to look within yourself to identify these weaknesses.
So I want to tell you guys a semi-funny story with that, right? Let me tell you, like I said, I've been in corporate America for many, 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 many years. So I have lots of examples, but I'll just pull a couple. So here's a little snippet of an example. I was the director of a department, and someone that worked for me, one of my staff, just did not appreciate, I don't know, the fact that I was in that role, because they had been at the organization before I even joined, and they just didn't appreciate that, and just would not take to me. And everything I did, or I put in motion, they would fight against it, because they wanted to overthrow me and all this nonsense. And then there was an incident, and one of the people on the team, it was another female, went to our executive or senior executive and said they had a grudge against me, a complaint, a grievance against me because I wrote something to them and said, I asked you to do blah, 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 blah. And despite the repeated reminders, you still have not gotten this done in the time frame, blah, blah, blah. So I was called in for the discussion, blah, blah, blah. Turns out that they said, or they thought that I was saying, I'm going to spite them because I used the word despite. You understand? I asked you to do the, despite the fact that I asked you to do da, 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 da.
Okay. So they only call spite.
They took out the word spite.
That's not even an actual word in the sentence. They just cut the word, took out the DE and just like.
Exactly. What I said was, I gave you a time frame and outlined clear requirements. Despite all of that, you still did not get the task done. And so here's the result. They were furious because all they concentrated on, not because they're not intelligent enough to understand the meaning of the word despite, because it basically just kind of means, although I asked you to do something you didn't do, you know,
not intelligent, sorry.
Despite the fact that, you know, I asked you, you didn't do it.
Yeah, that's just ignorance.
Exactly. And focused on the term spite to say, I'm spiting them. So then this big thing started. And so I'm just saying, here's an example. Women, please, you know, so blinded by
phonics, despite.
Yeah.
Hold up, Andrea, that story is just hilarious to me because I mean, if I was in like a leadership role and that came to me, like I would use that as a teachable moment.
They would
say,
fire
all right,
me
so
because the look that would be on my face,
I would just
you read despite that, I'm sorry, that's just not an intelligent.
Yeah, it's ignorance. It's just ignorance. It's really sad. And it's funny you would say that because I hadn't, and mine was even worse because the person what she did was I sent an email and she took a word again, put it in parentheses, and she was trying to say that I used the word incorrectly. But I didn't, because what I did was literally went to Google, got the meaning of the word and put it in there, respond to it and stuff. But what I'm saying is the mere fact that we were in the same office. Why wouldn't you just say to me, oh, girl, that email that you just sent, you need to check that word.
Exactly.
And then we could have had that conversation. And then I would have said to her, she used to mess with me because of my accent, to say that I don't pronounce a word properly. And how I knew she was being malicious was because she said it in front of other people all the time, trying to make me feel badly. But of course, I took the liberty to just explain to her that maybe the word sounds differently because I speak the Queen's English. That's why. I don't speak American English. I speak like standard English based on, you know, and people, it's just the little way in which people try to put you down. You know, they, like with you, Carol, they went to report you because they want you to seem like this bad person.
Exactly.
You know, because you're not the role that you're in. For some reason, you don't deserve it. Like everyone who decided that you deserve to be in this role and placed you in this role, they're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and they just put you there and they think that it's too good for you.
Yeah.
It's sad. It's sad.
But I don't, you know me, I'm into the TV and all of that stuff, right? So Gabrielle Union, I don't know if you knew that she admitted that she was once that girl.
Yeah, she did. I saw her interview.
And I want to play a snippet from her speech where she says,
okay.
So then I go to the Essence Awards the day after the event.
Yes.
And we've all been.
Turn it up a little bit.
And you spoke, and as you started to speak, you were getting the Fierce and Fearless Award. And obviously you had given that a lot of thought. And as you started to speak, my own mouth dropped and then it got wider and wider. And by the time you finished, we were all like, whoa, what was that?
we live in a town that rewards pretending. And I had been pretending to be fierce and fearless for a very long time. I was a victim masquerading as a survivor. I used to revel in gossip and rumors, and I lived for the negativity inflicted upon my sister actresses or anyone who I felt whose shine diminished my own. It had been such a long journey.
See, I mean, you can't get any better than that.
Wow.
I mean, Gabrielle.
That's big of her to even admit that.
Huh?
That takes courage.
Takes courage.
Mm-hmm.
Go on national TV and say that she was, listen, a little bit more.
Journey to get to that point. And I started doing the work on myself and really wanting to be the woman I always sort of had dreamed I wanted to be. But when I got divorced and I had a career setback, I had hit basically rock bottom, and I had reached out to AJ Johnson, and we started doing the work and being honest and really, really looking at myself and my life and my choices.
So AJ Johnson was a coach.
She was a physical trainer, but also like a life coach.
But I just wanted us to hear that it's real.
Yes.
Yes.
Hollywood, it is real.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it must have taken her a lot
To actually admit that.
Because it could have bounced back. It could have backfired on her.
But you know what? She might as well admit it, because if she was like that, I'm pretty sure everybody knew she was already. So she might as well own up. She owned up to what she already knew was a problem, and I'm sure everyone else also knew in her circle.
And maybe not, because I never heard. I love them blogs,
We
and
haven't heard of it because we're not in the circle. We're not in.
Oh, you mean in the circle? I'm
talking about people she works with who knows.
Yeah.
This,
Yeah.
probably already knew, and maybe it created problems to find jobs and to find opportunities, because this is the other thing that will happen. If you can't get along with your peers, then everybody who your peers know about it, and no one wants to work with you.
Yep.
Because let's face it, do you want to work with somebody you know is negative, or who's going to try to stab you in the back? You'll be like, put a pin on that one.
Yeah.
No.
But it shows that you really have women out there that deliberately are mean.
Yeah.
And it's because she went through a lot too. There's no excuse for that type of behavior. But and that will take us back to like my initial statement, where I said that most people who hurt people bleed on other people. Hurt people bleed on other people, and hurt people hurt people. Yeah. A person who is sure of who they are and who is comfortable with who they are nice to other people. It's just a given. If someone thrives on hurting other people, it's because there's something going on in their life, some experience that they've had that is causing them to behave in this, some little weakness in their character. Maybe it's so much, and sometimes even as parents, we don't realize how we are harming our children. The way we deal with them, the way we speak to them, all of these things come into play. We're shaping them. This will determine who they turn out to be.
My mother is a shouter. I'm a shouter because that's what I grew up and saw. So whatever you grew up and see, my daughter, everything she see me do, that child is doing it now.
Exactly. And until she and that's what happened with Gabrielle Union. Even though other people may have known that she is mean, like she plays those characters perfectly.
Yeah, perfect.
Like she walks in her truth.
You remember Deliver Us from Eva?
Like, every movie, she's just that snap, sassy, mean person. And it's, even though other people might have known, she probably wasn't ready to accept that. You know, sometimes you know, but you're just not ready to accept, because accepting it is a whole other ball game within itself. Just accepting it, to say, oh my gosh, this is me, mean. Stacy is mean. It's hard for me to say that, you know, and it's different stages that you have to go through.
Yeah.
But what she said, when she started realizing that when she started work, she hit rock bottom and she started working on herself. And then when you start working on yourself and you see, oh,
and you have to go through a period of pain. And this is from personal experience that I'm telling you. It's going through this period of pain, because that period where self-reflection and just acceptance is painful.
Yeah,
it is painful, and you have to get to that place where, you know, you recognize it, you identify your own flaw. Most people don't even like to say, oh, I have a flaw.
mm-hmm.
You know, you say to someone, look, the way you speak to me hurt me. They can't even muster up the words to say, I'm sorry. Even if, you know, the way I say it, I'm sorry for the way what I said affected you. Just that they can't even say that. So for her to get to the place where she's going to go on such a platform and express the fact that she is this person, that's growth. That's serious growth. And she didn't have to do it. This is a wealthy woman. Yeah. You know, she wants, and the healing is necessary.
It is. And I can see that growth in her as well, because right now, like, when I see her posts and stuff on social media, she's always complimenting and supporting other females.
Yes. And she does that religiously, like every week, 2 or 3 other females are on her page. She even does that with her daughter's page, you know, to highlight girls.
So I see her supporting other women. And to that point, one of the when I was researching this topic also, that is one of the tips that are given for women is, in order to work successfully, one of the things that we need to do to that point is women need to amplify other women.
Yes.
Right? Women need to amplify other women. Basically, in a nutshell, what that means is build other women up. All right. Mm-hmm. If you see that your coworker is doing a great job, give them credit for doing the job. Tell your boss, tell your coworkers how good of a job that person is doing. I've always done that. I don't have an issue with doing that. I'm always the first one to say, to acknowledge the job that someone is doing. If you're doing a fabulous job, I'll be like, that is great. I cannot believe this person did such a great job. And thanks to Stacy or thanks to Reese for doing this amazing thing. Because in the beginning, back to what both you ladies had said before, it may seem like you're taking attention away from yourself. You know, when you're amplifying somebody else, it may seem like you're taking the shine off yourself, but what you're actually doing is you're being a supportive team player.
Yes.
Right? As well as that right there makes you become an inspiring leader. Believe it or not, you're now becoming an inspiring leader because you're inspiring someone else when they see you behaving that positively and that supportively. And it shows that you're secure enough in yourself to praise others. Back to your point, Stacy, you are secure enough in yourself to praise someone else.
Let me tell you something. I get a high off women being successful. I love
Me too. Me too.
I love to see when people go out. You guys know that. That is how I feel that
woman. See, I have to say hands down, that's
I love it.
She does.
Yeah.
I would say Stacy XYZ do this. I love what you're doing. You know, there are 500 realtors around, but guess what? Just like you have 500 McDonald's, everybody have their own people.
Oh man, preach, Andrea.
Let me tell you, no, it's the truth. Check this.
McDonald's
is on one corner, Burger King is on the next. You never see them close down because of competition.
Yeah, exactly.
Burger King. I love McDonald's.
Around, we can support each other.
It's not hard. Listen, it's not hard. And Andrea, that's so true. I can attest to that. Like, you are truly a supporter. You support,
I would support
support.
everybody. And if
You
one
really do.
item is, if this is not for me, I would be like, you know what? At least I support.
Yeah.
But then I refer somebody as I said, listen here, this may be for you, but this is not for me. But I
Yeah.
always support.
It's true.
But not only that though, Andrea, what I will point out too with who you are, like what I've observed, you will put yourself aside to help another person.
Yeah.
I've seen you do it, and I literally had to talk to you about that. You know, like you have your goal, you have your dreams and your aspirations, and you literally stifled that, suffocated it, drowned it in order for someone else to do what they wanted to do, which is something that you had initially vocalized that you wanted to do. I couldn't understand it. In all honesty, I couldn't. I had to call her and just to talk to her, just to understand, and to say to her, look,
right?
huh?
You couldn't take it anymore.
Yes, at the end of the day, I am also an advocate for people walking in their true purpose. And that was killing me on the inside, just to see you putting your goals to the side. I mean, we can all achieve it together, you know? And I remember you expressing, for me personally, if you come to me with a business idea, I'm always the first person to say, yes, do that. Yes. And then I'm going to say, you know what you could do as well? This.
Yes.
Do this. You know what? I was just laying in my bed thinking about you, and this came to my mind. If you were to do this, or if I was reading something, look at this. And I really appreciate you, Andrea, because you've always been someone who I could call and say, Andrea, I'm thinking about this. What do you think? Or, you know, whatever it is, we can always, you'll always try to help me, you know, and that is exactly what we should do as women.
That's
you
what
know,
I
and
want to show women
Yeah.
that it can happen.
it, what
Can
you are,
happen.
you,
It's like
you come,
striking a balance, right, Stacy? What you're saying,
yes,
strike that balance in life. That's what we all have to learn to do. It doesn't mean you stifle your dreams or you stifle
right,
your shine, etc. But you have to amplify other women and help and support. But at the same time, you don't stifle yourself just
right,
to do something for someone else.
But
You
I
strike
have
that balance because, as Reese said, there's enough to go around for everyone.
yes,
So it's a
yes,
sharing rather than
like another example. Remember the meeting we had where we had a member, she was struggling with not making her quota. She does insurance. We all came together and we helped her. You know what we did? We were like, okay, we're gonna take contacts out of our phones and give it to you. And maybe that's a lead right there. How many women looking at it that way?
right,
How many women would sit there, oh no, I need lead for myself. I ain't gonna that is
right.
that's the whole idea of me. I want our group to be the example to say, yo, women can get along.
Yeah.
yes,
And work together
Work together.
successfully
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
And
yes,
go
to achieve.
try to know. Yeah.
Of course.
most definitely.
So I want to jump in again to another reason, right? We Stacy started with that one. Let's jump into some more reasons, right? I saw some more of um women often feel one of the reasons that women may not work successfully together is women may feel like they have to win, right? Quote unquote win at the game that was created by men and for men, right? Because traditionally, we have the old boys club system, and a lot of times, and I know for me, a lot of times in not just for me, a lot of people in corporate America, and depending on your seniority or the level at which you're working, it may be in the type of job, it may be more male dominated. So in order for women to succeed in certain roles, you might feel like this is what you have to do to win at that game that was created by men and for men. So you become that, and maybe you become more aggressive and this and that. So then here you go. Now there are only 2 women or 3 or whatever in the entire division. Then you have this competition for who's going to outshine the other.
Hmm.
Yeah.
All right. And it's also tied to the fact that some women may feel that they had to act like men in order to succeed. So what that means is you cut your hair, you don't wear a dress, you wear pantsuits
Dark suits.
instead of skirts or dresses, tailored shirts, because you want to fit into the male dominated world. So you start to take on that persona. That's another reason that could, have created that.
You know what I will I'll say about that. The other night I was watching the news with my husband, and I just looked at Kamala came on, our VP, and I just said to him, you know what? I would love to see her wear a fuchsia suit dress to one of those meetings. Like, why does she have to wear? Who says she has to wear a navy suit? I mean,
Right.
of course, the role that she's in is one that's normally dominated by men, but she's a woman, and everything about who she is here. Whether she's wearing a dress as a first lady would, or she's wearing a suit, she's still boss and she can get the job done. It just came to me when I watched it, and I said that to him, and he said they would not take her seriously.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, it is some of the issues that are created by sexism in the workplace.
It is.
You know,
It is.
that and it's forms the root of some of the issues that we're talking about, then creates that problem later on for women to work successfully with one another, because you feel like you have to do that, or you may be pressured or forced to do that in order to.
That's why they say that people scared when they say where there are too many women, too much drama, much drama.
There's so many things that women have to deal with, and to
I
navigate.
experienced that when I came to the States first, and my first job was in a call center. Need I tell you anymore?
Mine too.
I've never seen anything from fighting to cussing out to, and some of the half of the time I have nothing to do with work.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's really sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always experienced, I think people, for me, is intimidation. A lot of times, I think I intimidate some women. I've heard it. People say to me, like people close to me, tell me that's the reason, because I carry myself with a sense of assurance. I know who I am, and I and I had to learn to speak about myself in this manner, and I will speak about myself in this manner because and that's another layer to it. We dumb ourselves down sometimes. We don't play ourselves. We don't dress up because another person may feel intimidated. We need to stop that.
Yeah.
And
Or
I experience
a person may feel intimidated because you're successful and they're trying to get there. They're mad that
Yeah.
they can't get there. They don't know what you did to get there. So they hate
exactly.
on you big time.
Exactly.
Yes,
know?
but then Andrea, another side to that, sometimes it's nothing even so tangible. It is just the way you carry yourself with assurance. I'm telling you,
Yes.
there have been times when I wonder, why would this person not like me? You don't even know me. I am a realtor.
I went that man my entire life.
Carol, let me tell you something. I'm a realtor. I went to do a couple years ago. I went to do my a course, and I was sitting there with one of my other friends. She's a realtor as well. This girl, the course was 1 week. I was sitting immediately in front of this girl. What could you possibly not like me? What reason would you have not to like me? You don't know me.
You don't know me. You're meeting me for the very first time.
We haven't even met. Carol,
Yeah.
we didn't meet. We didn't even exchange name. We didn't say, hi, my name is Stacy, and you are nothing. I was just sitting there. It wasn't a class where I had to raise my hand to ask a question. It wasn't that setting. There were like over 100 realtors in that room. I was sitting in the very back because I showed up like one of the last people to show up. So I maintained that seat throughout the entire course. And it got to the point where this girl started dropping words making comments towards me. And when I got up to walk out for something and I came back, the girl was sitting beside me. She said, this girl said she doesn't like you. I said, what? She doesn't even know me. She said, oh, she doesn't like you. I said, okay. And I continued. So we were doing like a revision, and the girl and I, we were like boosting up ourselves because we had to take the exam right there. And we did like a mock exam, and then we wrote the questions down, and we're getting everything. So we're like, yes, just silently celebrating each other. She said, this I won't say it on, had as one more time to act like this, and I'm going to show her. Yeah. Listen, that is a sick person. Yeah. That is a sick. She said, I hate this. I hate her. She said that in my earshot, like she was trying. No, real estate is one where you just need to get in trouble once with the law and your license is gone. Like, you are willing to put your license on the line for someone that the girl did not even know my name. That's how bad it was.
That's terrible.
So what could be the reason? And when it happened with this same girl, she in her presence, so many times she said, Stacey, you had said it before, that people look at you and just don't like you. And now I see it. We were in Starbucks having a meeting, and I got up. The girl said, I hate that girl. When I came back, the girl said to me, and she used the word hate, the girl said to me, do you know her? I said, who? I didn't even notice she was behind me. Because when I walk in a room, I don't even look around at people. I'm not that's a flaw in my character. I really don't look around. I don't look at people. And she said that. So I had to get to a point where I just accept the fact that the main reason for this is something that I can't even change about myself. And guess what? I don't think we need to change anything about who we are. If it's something, these people have serious issues. You can't save them.
Yeah. It's really, really sad. People have issues, and I'm telling you, Stacey, they don't, like you said, they don't even know you. They've never even met you. But for the mere fact that you're female, that's it. That's your strike.
So why she didn't dislike the other girl? That's what I said. So why people like you and not me? Like, I'm always the one smiling. Yeah. People don't like you because you're always happy. You don't let things get you down. You're like, oh, well, like, it's anything.
Like, I walked into conference rooms, like I said, into meetings, and the moment I walk in, it's like just the hate in the room is palpable, and it's usually coming from the other females.
Females, always.
Why would you do that? You don't even know me. You're meeting me or seeing me for the very first time. I haven't even opened my mouth. And then let me open my mouth and speak. All of a sudden, now it's like, oh, and I've heard the terms people say, oh, she thinks she's this and she thinks she that and she think queen bee and this. What would make you even feel that way? What we should be doing is getting together, banding together, and working together to achieve the goal that we're there for. If I was put in place to achieve a certain goal, what do you have to gain just by blocking me?
Right. Nothing.
Together, everyone achieves more.
And Reese, Tatiana is with us. Hey, Tatiana. She's on the line. She joined us, and she said, yes, the call centers can get very messy. I haven't worked in one, so I don't know, but I guess y'all know what happened there.
They need their own reality show.
It can break you or make you, in all honesty.
Yes, they can.
Wow. It's true. That's amazing. So she can relate to that just like you, Reese.
Yes, and it's not no simple drama.
Yeah. So, we have different types of women, right? We could have what some people call, and, some may call, I've been called kind of like that, the dragon ladies. And then
what are those?
And then you have the softies.
See, Carol is a strictie. She's a strict. I would not want her to be my supervisor.
Oh my goodness gracious. Why?
As long as you do what you're supposed to do, you're good.
We're fine. Exactly. You do.
That's my mantra. Like, I worked in HR. I know if you do what you're supposed to do.
Listen, it affects people who cannot get their own way. If you can't get your own way, the person is mean and it starts talking about you.
You have
that's
no business
right.
in corporate America. This is not a this is not daycare.
Exactly. Exactly.
You're an adult.
And then a person like me will stay up till 4 a.m. in the morning to hammer out all the details and make it nice and pretty and simple from A, B, C, listing out everything, setting it up nice. So after I lost sleep and set up everything for you, and then you don't follow it, and because you don't follow it and you go off and now everything has exploded
Despite how many times you have said it,
So
and now you
true.
want to come fight me.
and then you're gonna call me the dragon lady as a result of it. It's like, come on, we wouldn't have a problem if we all just did what we were supposed to do.
Imagine when Carol walking through them like, sure, see, the dragon lady.
Like, I'm the dragon lady. How am I the dragon lady when we have, so we just, if we work together and we all did, if I know Carol was supposed to do A and Reese was supposed to do B and Stacy was supposed to do C.
You better have that ABC lined up so Miss Carol know
We
me.
didn't do it, and here we are now, and we're all getting fired or chewed out because none of us did our tasks. Then what did you expect?
You better stand at attention when you see Carol.
Yeah. But my thing is, I'm never one to argue if I'm in the wrong, though.
Yeah.
I'm the first to say, girl, so guess what? You know that, Angie, I'm gonna be like, oh, you can't do anything. Like when I didn't, Carol, basically you just have to say, you know what? Next time you better make sure you get it done.
Reese is like, no, I said blah blah blah. I'm like, Reese, you
can't defend yourself.
He's like,
there's no defense.
Then you know what I do? I go back and I copy and paste. I said, so what you got to say now, Reese?
So per my previous email,
Bring the receipts, Carol. But it's so funny that we laugh at it now. Like we laugh back at it. Like seriously, it's fun. And that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, no hard feelings.
Exactly.
Pure love. Love. That's what it's about.
Agree to disagree. Again, is supporting each other, but professionally. And if you're wrong, you own up to it because you have to be mature enough to say, listen,
I'm all about that. Yes.
I was wrong.
That's what I believe in, truly.
Yeah.
100%.
I want to do, are you finished with your tips?
Oh no, I got plenty more. So I do each one and we talk about it. So go on.
No, because when you're done with your list, I want to give 10 tips that how we can empower someone.
Okay, so we're not quite there yet.
I'm saying when you're finished.
Yes.
I need to get my pen and paper so I can take some copious notes.
When you come on the show, you have to bring your pen and pencil, honey, because you always leave with something here. Okay.
Gems. Yes.
Exactly. That is the motto, one of the mottos of our show. Everyone who listens to Let's Connect, we talk about that every week. We say, come with your pen and paper, because that's what we want to do. We take the time to put these things together because we want to share and we want to help. We're not just talking at you. We want to talk with you, and we want you to leave with something and feel like you got something out of this discussion.
Yes.
So, I was looking up, there is an online magazine called The Atlantic, and Joyce Benenson is a psychologist at Emmanuel College. This is a college out in Boston. And based on her research, it suggests that women and girls are less willing, back to Reese's point, are less willing than men and boys to cooperate with lower status individuals of the same gender. Okay, so if we feel like they have a lower status, we're not willing to cooperate with them because they're not up to my standards or my status. So they get kicked to the curb, and we're more likely to dissolve same gender friendships, and we're more willing to socially exclude one another. That's women.
Yes.
Okay, so that was the point that Reese, one of the points that Reese was making. Also, there was a study that was done on male chimpanzees, right? And I'm not comparing us to chimpanzees, people. I'm not saying we're monkeys or anything, but there was a study. I didn't do it. I'm just mentioning it.
Yeah,
Disclaimer.
I believe that.
So yeah, there was a study for male chimpanzees. They actually groom one another more than females do. Okay. And the males frequently work together to hunt or patrol the borders, while the female chimps are much less likely to form any type of coalition, and they have been spotted forcing themselves between a female rival and her mate, even during copulation. You know what that is when they're mating.
Yes.
So the issue is, and that's been found in the chimpanzees, so it's coming from way back. So my question is, do you believe that women are evolutionarily predestined not to collaborate with women who they're not related to? So,
Yeah, they're not related. I wouldn't even put that in there because you have people who are related who fight against each
and
other.
even if they're related, right, they still do
They're
that.
worse.
But so based from evolution time, do you think we're predestined not to collaborate with one another? Because the chimps are the same way, the chimpanzees. Male chimps work with one another and the females just do not. What do you guys think about that? What do you girls think about that?
Um,
Some women don't work. I mean,
as it relates to evolution, that's like my belief is it's contrary to evolution. But I just think it's the whole genetic makeup and the hormones and just everything. We have that competitive nature.
Yeah.
So, and the reason why I say that because I'm Christian, so I believe as it relates to evolution, that's not something that I believe in, but I just believe that if we have that nature to that jealousy.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times that's where it comes from, just that level of jealousy and we conspire and we just fighting against each other and thinking that whatever another person has. Men don't think like that.
Yeah.
I should say most men. So I just think it's our whole genetic makeup and again, socialization and life experiences, all of that just compiled together to make a person who they are.
Yeah.
You have people who are different. So I don't think it applies to every single person, every single woman. You have some females who aren't. Typical example on this platform. But
yeah. You know how I just read the thing for you about the chimpanzees? It just brought something else to mind just now, popped into my head, where it says the female chimps will get in between the other female chimps and their mates during copulation. So it just makes me think of, you know how we all know as women, there's a little saying here that says, never talk to another woman about your husband or your mate or your man, because all of a sudden,
they're no interesting to them.
they're now wanting your
attractive.
so
Yes.
you do not talk about the great features of your man with any other woman, because and I never really, I just thought about that. I'm like, wait a minute.
And even it can go a bit further. Just the mere fact a man wearing a ring now becomes also attractive to another female because they know that they belong to someone else. And the only reason why they do that is to hurt that woman. You know that?
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I'm going to take someone. It's the whole the way in which women think is just so sad. We really need to grow.
Yeah.
As a gender, we really need to grow.
Like I was watching everybody, as I said, anybody who's just joining in and today and they keep hearing me talking about my reality shows and whatever. I love my reality shows and I live for them because I'm like my housewives of Atlanta. Okay? These people so claim they have money and then the whole sisterhood and ain't no sisterhood, nothing for the TV. Was watching Sunday. I guess they had a Halloween party. This girl, Latoya, she's Trinidadian. She's fiery, island girl, goes to this girl's house now as hosting the party. Her husband is older than her. And I don't know what happened, if it was a drinking or what. And you should hear that girl tearing down the female and the husband. Oh, he's old, and this is the only way you getting what you have in this big house is because of what you're doing. And I mean, I have to keep it PG-13 on here, but you can see where I'm going with it. Like, how are you gonna go in a girl's house, disrespect her, tear her down? You should be uplifting her. Oh, girl, you got a nice house. That's nice. You know what I'm saying? You elevating it, whatever, but you're gonna tear her down, tear her in their house. Some women don't care. Some
Yeah,
people.
it's jealousy. That's just jealousy, really.
Yeah.
And she's lost too. Like some she's not sure of who she is. And people will look at age and say, okay, they should know better, but it has nothing to do with age.
Stacey,
It's
you can be another thing. You could be struggling, and you get to the point where I'm going to Stacey. Now I'm going to buy my ever after home, or that's what they call it now, the ever after.
forever home. Forever home.
And Stacey get me this nice 6-bedroom, this, that, and whatever. I know I'm like, okay, Carol, I want to have my little home warming. I'm happy now because I worked my ass off for 25 years and I get the house that I want. And Carol come over there with herself with mm, mm. Like, see, not saying, girl, I remember when you was taking the bus to work and reminisce and say, yeah, you're really working from taking the bus to now. Look what you have now. Proud of you, girl. How many
Yeah, but the whole franchise, I don't really, I'm not impressed because the whole, like, the purpose of that is really for women to beef. For there won't be a show if they get along.
Oh, that what I was just saying a while ago was not off of the show. I'm just saying in general.
Right.
Like,
Right.
I'm working my butt off, and you guys know that. You've been there from day one. When I take bus to when we can't get one like a hoopty to now I have a 6-bedroom, and
And instead of celebrating you, yeah.
Right.
And you come in and I come to your house and it's in a nice area, beautiful home. However, maybe something is out of place, and that's the only thing that I will mention. I've experienced that too. And the compliment, like a lot of women are unable to give true compliments, just to say, oh, hey, I love this. This is beautiful. Or yes, that's awesome. I walk in a store, I'll be on the phone with my friend sometimes. And she always says it to me. She said, you just give compliments. I give compliments freely. Like it just comes from my mouth. Oh, wow, I love your braids. They're so beautiful.
if it's not genuine, I don't want it. I'm serious. If you're
Well,
no, I'm not saying you, but you have some people.
I know, I'm saying, yeah, I've heard that half, and
But
oh, it don't look too bad. It don't look too bad.
I want to throw something else at you girls in this discussion here when you're talking about that. There's something called unconscious bias, right? And I'm not advocating for the women who do stuff like, what we're talking about here, but women often, there's another hurdle that a lot of women face. So women who are trying to raise up, into or elevate themselves into leadership standards, and they face cultural and systemic hurdles as well, and it makes them harder to advance, makes it harder for them to advance. So some things like unconscious bias will rise up that you don't even realize, that there is some people don't even realize that they're biased against somebody, or they're being biased against you. So how do you combat that? How do you get over that hurdle when you're trying to tell somebody, hey, this is what you're doing to me, why are you doing it? And they're like, wait, I was never like that, I didn't say that to you. And you're like, yeah, you did. So it's kind of like that unconscious bias. Maybe they don't even realize they're doing it. But again, it's for all of us, I think, to be a little bit more emotionally intelligent.
Yes.
right? So we have to get some emotional intelligence. There are courses out there. There are lessons out there. I remember even when I was in corporate America, we had to do some of those classes and take those trainings. You've got to
Me
learn
too.
emotional intelligence. You can't just pop off at the mouth at people, say what you want, do what you want, this and that. You got to be a little bit more emotionally intelligent and understand the things that you're doing and what you're saying to another person. So
How it affect them.
and how it affects other people, so write that down, everybody. Take a note of that. It's called emotional intelligence. Look it up, do some research on it, because it's what you're saying and what you're doing that is affecting another person and affecting how they advance
Relationships.
and the relationships that you have with them. So with
Right.
tips, Reese, let's chat about some tips. I know you are chomping at the bits.
Yeah, we don't like, we talked about the negative, and we want to talk about
Some of what we can do. Just turn your audio up, my dear. I think Stacy and I are much louder than you. We're kind of overpowering you,
Then I talk so loudly too.
but that's
I
okay.
project like a teacher.
That's right. And
it's
so
on a load. It's on a load. I'm soft
communication
spoken.
my whole life. So we talk. Reese is very quiet over
I'm
there.
soft spoken. I'm not loud like you guys. So the first tip is
We don't want to drown you out, my dear. So come on with it.
you drown me out every week. So maybe all right.
What's your tip?
The first tip is celebrate each other's strengths.
Yes.
That's one thing you can do. I'm not going to go into detail like Miss Carol, but I'm
I
just
want to your mistress. Of course, you can tell everybody.
celebrate. Like I do that. I will do that as if somebody has a product out or they're launching, right? Or not only that, like you are good at marketing. I tell you that all the time because I'm like, girl, how you get that little person to do this? And you're good at stuff like that.
So we need to talk after the show, Carol.
All right, girl. See, she doing it again. That's my girl.
And let me just plug her in real quick.
She is plugging me right now.
Look, I'm pimping her out right now. I'm going to do the marketing, but she does voiceover. So if you have that, you want that professional.
Yes, I do voiceover, everybody. You
Yes.
guys know I talk about that every week on here. That's my business.
So
All right, let's keep going, my dear.
all right. So number 2, connect them to the right people. I do that too. I went down to this girl that just opened she's the first Black person to open a tea house in Davie, right?
Yes.
Went down to her place and I was like, maybe you need to hook up with Debbie that does the vegan cakes. Maybe you guys can work together.
Collaboration, yes.
Yeah.
It's all about collaboration.
Yes.
When you know what I gained from that? Happiness.
Yeah.
I love there's people just working together and making some money. Enough money.
Thriving.
Funny because I remember when you did that, and even though I'm not there in Florida with you guys, I remember that stuck in my head. When you went to that tea house, and I'm like, that's amazing because you're not getting anything out of it besides sheer joy of the fact that you're connecting people. And I remembered it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I connected her with people too, right? I
Yes,
connected with people that I
you do.
work and you guys could make money. It's all about
Mhm.
connection, networking,
Yes.
each other up in meetings, back each other up. You have some people,
Yes.
they will put you under that bus in a minute to save
I
themselves.
told you, in my corporate experience, I was in the boardroom doing presentations and everything. And this woman was so adamant, just trying to tear me down. Everything I said, she was coming at me. Everything I said, she's coming at me. And she's like, no, because and even though she had no facts and she was wrong, but she is wrong and strong,
Yeah.
and it's just like, So then it's almost like if I'm going back at her bucket, then it looks horrible in front of everybody looking at us. It's like, why do you want to do something like that? So back each other up in meetings. Yes.
Be approachable and offer help.
Yes.
Don't be the woman that, oh, I need help, but I can't, I don't want to go, because that has a lot to do with it.
So I like that you said be approachable. Let's unpack that a little bit, right? So that was one of the tips sort of on my list in terms of so mine wasn't necessarily be approachable, but a tip for working together with other female was seek out people that you admire, like develop relationships, right? Learn, everybody, write that down. Seek out people that you admire, ask them for advice, and follow up with them, right? That's a tip. However, it's connected to what Reese just said about being approachable, because we're out here telling people to seek out people and seek out advice of other people. If they're not approachable, or if you're not approachable, then how can people develop the connection or networking or the relationship with you that's necessary? So you have to be approachable when people are seeking advice from you or looking up to you or trying to or emulating, you have to be approachable, and you have to be willing to for someone to approach you.
And then it says, back less experienced woman
Yes.
projects. So I know that I'm weak on marketing, but Carol knows that she's the bomb on that. Offer your help to help me to get,
Yeah.
I mean, they don't want to do that. You know why? A lot of people won't, because Carol's going to say, well, if I teach Reese,
Yeah.
so that means my job's soon gone.
Yeah.
My job is going to be, so you can't look at it that way. Where
Exactly.
you have to back less experienced woman for projects.
And one thing I always say, over the years I've said it, and I say it again now too. Education or something that you have, it lives here. It lives here. No one can take it away from you. Okay. You're always going to have it. It's yours. So if you share your knowledge with someone else, it doesn't diminish your skills or your abilities. It doesn't lessen you in any way, shape, or form. So why not share your experience or your knowledge with someone else? What are you going to lose? You're not going to lose your knowledge. Nobody's going to suck it out of your head and then leave you, blank, your brain blank.
And another one, be open about your own okay.
Vulnerabilities.
Thank you very much. And I went to a good school, and failings. And failings. So you have to own it.
Yeah.
Own it and work on it.
That's kind of like me coming to you and say, Reese, I'm not good at certain things, and this is where you come in and you're strong.
You don't like to beg.
So I'm like, Reese, I need
like begging, Stacy. So every week
your help with this
on the website to beg.
I'm not good with this, because that's where, you're stronger than I am. So can you help me with such and such? Because you have to know where your strengths are and where your weaknesses are, and be willing to accept that, and work on them. And if there's someone else who's stronger in a certain area than you, approach them, but don't try to suck them dry necessarily, somebody else dry, and try to manipulate their time all the time. Don't expect that somebody's going to do everything for you. So that bleeds into another point where I want to make is develop relationships, people. Please, you have to develop a relationship. And where that is, what I want to say is find your squad. Write that down, everybody. Find your squad. I love that terminology. Find your squad. Okay, write it down. I'm going to wait for you guys to write it down with your pen and paper, because I want to elaborate on that a little bit. What that means is find your squad and tap into them. Okay, so who would be your go-to group of women that you would go to whenever you need help?
Right.
You know, sit down, think about that, recognize that. Who's going to be your go-to group of women that you know who's going to have your back? All right. You
But
know
there's
they're
a lot of them out there. A lot of groups out there. Yeah.
you know they're going to have your back in an emergency, and develop that squad. You know that's your squad, and you stick with them, right? You because they're going to give you honest advice and feedback, right? And they will help you, like if you want or if you need any key business introductions to somewhere else or to someone else, like what Reese was saying, this elite women in business is an amazing group of women. And you go into that group and you can always say, hey girls, I need this, or can somebody introduce? And I've seen it happen in our WhatsApp group and our chats or whatever. Can somebody refer me, find me a lawyer I need some legal advice on blah, 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 blah. I
Look,
need
there's one right in the group.
you know,
Yeah.
that's blah, 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 blah. And everybody goes, hey, Stacy does this and that. Reach out to Stacy.
Yeah. I love it.
You know, that's the thing. Find your squad, everybody, and know where they are, know how to reach them at all times, and use them for networking. Network with them. Don't be pushy and nasty and mean and expect that they're going to do everything for you. But you want to introduce yourself. Hi, my name is Carol. I really admire your work. Learn about their work also, maybe before you approach them. Know a little something about them so you can say, I know Stacy, I know you're a realtor and you're in Florida and da 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 da, and I'd really like to talk to you about, so know something. Because if you just come to me and be like, listen, I need you to help me, and you know nothing about me or never even taken the time to learn a little something about me, then I may not want to really help you, right? So, because it's only being cordial. People work with who they trust and who they like. So that's the cornerstone.
You can tell from the beginning if this is a person that you can work with or not.
Yeah.
You can. And then the last thing before we wrap up, because it's 5 and we have Miss Stacy and just going to talk about her thing. So we're going to wrap up with this last tip. The last tip is, I just had it. It's Reese. Accept and embrace individuality. Accept and embrace. That means everybody has a different personality. Everybody has different opinions. We cannot always agree. And if we always agree, something is wrong.
Somebody's being a hypocrite, man.
Yep.
Exactly. Somebody is being a hypocrite, right? So, sorry, I told you today's a busy day today at the office. So we need to embrace each other. As we say, we can agree to disagree, because me and Carol, we do that all the time. And at the end of the day, you agree, you work on it, and you put it to the side and you keep it moving. Don't hold
Yes.
don't be too cocky on nobody and trying to put down that person. Just keep it moving. And can we all just get along?
Yeah.
I just wanted to add something
Yes, Stace.
that the goal is to work well with others and to support each other, and that I will never stop doing, because that's who I am. That's my makeup. I love seeing others win. I love seeing women win, and I try to contribute to that win in whatever way I can. However, with growth comes also the ability to walk away from situations or relationships with others, including with other females, that takes away from me, and I know that's probably another topic for another day, Carol and Andrea, but I just felt while I was sitting there just listening to everything that's being said, oftentimes we suffer as women who support and give and make ourselves available because of other people who are not at that place. And it's very important for us to be able to identify when someone is not at that place. Again, if we can help in any way, even if that person is not at that place, we're still going to help. But you don't have to stop there, because at the end of the day, we have a responsibility to ourselves and to our communities to be functioning at the highest level, the highest vibration. And some people just don't work in that. So we're loving them from a distance. We're helping them if we can and where we can. However, we have to always stay focused on our goal or what our ambitions, you know, and it's important to do that as well.
And real quick,
Absolutely.
when I started this journey on the radio, I don't know. It's like I wanted to get all my girls. See, Stacy, don't you and Aisha have a show?
I haven't been on, that's another story.
But
I'm so
still,
busy.
when I came on this platform, because I was like a newbie on this radio thing. I've worked in
Yes.
events and whatever, and I'm a bubbly person. I'm a people person, and I'm like, no, I don't want to enjoy this by myself, because to me, this is a hobby. This is fun. I'm gonna bring some more girls in it,
You did.
and I brought my squad. I brought my.
Yes. 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 I always say that meeting you was really an amazing thing, because you really contribute to other people's business in a whole.
Together.
You
What
went to school, Carol?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, we were.
That's
Marymount
amazing. Marymount.
Yes.
High
Oh,
School.
did you tell her I went to St. Mary High School?
Oh Lord, here we
Ailey-
go.
Ailey-
Rivals to the end.
Carol, Elise was her teacher. Remember Elise?
Yes. Really.
Toilet.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's my girl.
that
Hi.
was Elise' student. Yes. So
Yes.
we all
Yeah.
come from Marymount days.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Grandma and St. Mary's High. Oh Lord.
They
The
don't like
in
us.
the white uniforms.
Pure.
I had a lot of friends. I had a lot of friends from Marymount. A
Yeah.
whole lot of friends.
I had a lot of
Oh.
friends from St. Mary's High too.
Yes, I like. I mean,
But we enjoyed that rivalry though. Not gonna lie.
yes, it was a friendly rivalry.
Yes.
It wasn't like
Yeah.
yeah.
St. Mary's High used to pick on Marymount students so bad.
Yes,
Call us all
yes,
kinds of names, Sister
Yes.
White Foal, this and that. They
yes.
teased us.
And we laughed at you guys. We're like, oh, of course. Sister came with the rule and measure your
Yes.
skirt.
Because you guys had boys and girls and we were all girls.
Listen, on the low though, I think you guys, because our uniform was just so like
We were
and then-
pure. We were pure and innocent, and the guys like that.
all white, and we had to be clean.
We were angelic.
And because we were our principal, all our teachers and principals, they were nuns. They were
Yes.
Catholic nuns. So
Yes.
we had to sit,
Go
we were
ahead.
taught to sit with our shoulders straight. To this day, I do it, my back straight.
Where are my St. Mary High School gang?
We had to
Like, come
clean-
on.
Sit straight, speaks properly.
Listen to me, Carol and Andrea. I never aspired
Although
to
I don't know
go to
what
either
happened to
Marymount or St.
Tracy.
Hilda's. I didn't want to go to a school with just all girls. Society is not
all
structured that way.
Guys,
And you
guys,
would never know, so Miss Reese, she was raised like that.
listen.
That's what
I-
happened to her, huh?
Listen,
What?
I went to Marymount, but my body and my mind was Mir's Eye.
Somewhere else.
That's what I'm talking about, girl. Yes.
Body was at
So
because I never liked it.
Training that
But
Reese got. Reese walked to your training.
Let me tell you,
You
my
got training.
she left it up a high gate.
when my mother couldn't find me,
Yeah, there, Mirza.
Mir's Eye bungle up with the boys. I don't want to be around no whole heap of girls all day. You know what? Up to this day, when St. Mary High School have their picnic, because I don't know, Stacy, they have before the COVID, St. Mary High School have an annual picnic, right? Big thing.
I'm not even aware of that.
But Sister White Falls are there, big up in the place. We're always represented, and we always laugh, and we still have that friendly rivalry. The girls want to come to Mary's Side, guys, and it's because of the white tent on. It's just fun. It's a
Yeah.
whole weekend. It's a whole weekend of activities. So the next time I'll let you
Let me know when this COVID is behind us. But it's always that situation, because I went to Michael Teachers College, which is Michael's right, like every other college or university rival, the teachers colleges. So the same with Shortswood. Like, I wouldn't go to Short. Why would I want to go to Short? I want to enjoy my experience. That's just too much restriction. Like, my college, I'm who I am today because of my Michael experience. I would not go to an all girls.
Let me tell you,
My husband and I met at Michael's. So.
my mom was glad that I went to Miramar because she made it does skin catch a fire. I just love the boys.
That's the challenge you have when you put your child in an all-girls school. They're not accustomed to forming those healthy relationships with boys.
That is why.
Carol, you're silent. Where are you?
No, I see. Only talk for herself. I didn't have any issues, okay, with it. I was fine with it.
In my time, the girls acted weird on that bus back to Ochareas. They acted like, oh my gosh, the boys are here. Yeah. What? No. We see them at lunch. We see them on the playing field. We see them at break time.
Seeing them,
They used to act so frightened and weird. Like, but
a lot of girls were like that because it's all girls school. So when they're going home and they're on the buses now with the boys. And stuff, they get a little crazy. But listen,
good times, huh? Good times.
I didn't have time. I better stay in character, honey, because I want to, live to be a grown up. I wanted to survive my child and teen years, so I wouldn't dare. Yes, my dear, but I want to say thank you so much, and I wanted to just close this out in summary to say, we do need to stereotype that women don't support other women. We do need to reverse that stereotype, rather, forgive me. We need to reverse the stereotype that women don't support other women. And that's one of the reasons we have this platform. And that's what we try to use this platform for, to do good, to educate. And one of the things we want to do today is reverse that stereotype. We hope that you're going to work on these notes. If it's even one thing you got from today, then I'm a happy woman today, all right? Because there is a lot of research out there that shows women in particular that benefit from collaboration with other women.
Yes.
And there are so many studies out there also that shows that women who support other women are actually more successful in business. And that's what we've been talking about all day today. We're supporting each other, then you become even more successful in business.
Yes.
So with that, thank you, everybody. We're still here. We're going to just move into another segment of our show today with Miss Stacy, who is a realtor extraordinaire. So what's up, Stacy? What you got for us? What are you going to tell us now about your business? Run with it.
All right. Thank you guys for giving me this opportunity to come on this platform. And I must say, I really appreciate it. So as I've mentioned before, I am a realtor serving the area where everyone wants to live. We literally live where you vacation.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
No worry, there's room for you. And whenever you decide to move here, just hit me up. I'll get you into that home. And you know what, too, Carol, what I will say is that there's a difference in the market. Like, the properties there are more. You said you live in New Jersey, is it?
Yeah.
So it's more, right, it's more costly. So even though this is a very sought after area or location, like for New York or someone from east of us will benefit from buying here.
Okay.
It stretches. A house here, like a 3-bedroom, you would pay twice the amount, like in, say, New York. But as I've said before, I work from Port St. Lucie, which is north of Miami, all the way back to Miami-Dade. And the current market is it's a seller's market. I think nationwide, it is a seller's market. There are more buyers than sellers. And the reason for that is because of the current interest rates. They are lower. There are more people are buying to capitalize on that. So
even if people are buying, it's still a seller's market rather than a buyer's market right now, based on
yes, because the sellers are benefiting.
Okay.
So it's skewed towards the sellers.
Oh.
So we consider it a seller's market because they are in the driver's seat, really.
Oh.
So you have more when like back in 2008, 2009, up to 12, 13, thereabout, it was a buyer's market because there were more properties available and not many buyers. So that's why you would find the properties were cheaper then.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're in a seller's market because the sellers are literally in control. When a property goes on the market, you have so many buyers going after that one property, making offers, oftentimes making offers that are above the asking price in order to get the opportunity of, their offer being accepted.
Wow.
Yes. And I just 2 weeks ago, I think it was, I hosted a virtual homebuyer seminar because I realized that a lot of people are not educated on the process, and of course, there are more sellers than more buyers than sellers. That doesn't mean that you are not able to buy and you will not be able to get your offer accepted. You just have to know and understand the market that you're in and act accordingly. So again, what I would like to implore people to do is and the main takeaway from this segment is I want people to understand the need to prepare to buy. You have to prepare, because sometimes when I talk to individuals, they're like, yes, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm preparing to buy. But what exactly are you doing? The only way in which for you to know what you should do in order to purchase a home is to talk to a professional, unless you've done it before. Okay. And even then you still need to, because the market changes from time to time.
Right.
So my business is one where I take you from point A to point B. I educate you on every aspect of real estate. Whenever I meet someone who is interested in purchasing, I ensure that I take them through a buyer's consultation and explain everything, the upfront cost that they will accrue, the time frames, the current market, the different, the cost for different types of homes and such. To my sellers, I will implore you, if you are thinking about selling your home, this is the time. And I personally complete a CMA. And what this is a comparative market analysis. I make sure that I look at your house in comparison to other homes that were sold, within a certain time frame, to ensure that I'm listing your property at the best price. If you purchased your home, say anytime within like 2008, thereabout, and you're thinking about selling, now is the time. You are going to make double on what you purchased it for. That's the growth.
Wow.
Currently, yes. I sold a property, and it wasn't even, I'll speak about this one because just the magnitude. These people purchased their home for $130,000. They were able to sell it for $250,000.
Wow.
One the other day we sold, and that lady purchased her home. She made 100,000 square flat on her home in cash. That's the amount of equity that she made, because when she purchased it, she purchased a certain amount. She kept it for a few years, and then we just sold it the other day. And
that was another question I was gonna jump in. I always wanted to know, like, when you buy a house, how long, is there any rule about how long you have to keep it before you can sell it?
Not really, no.
Okay.
It all depends. I mean, if is it an income property? And then too, what that does, as you as a seller, you can sell it right away if you want to. It's just that a buyer who is like, if they're using FHA has a certain guideline as it relates to that. If a person purchases a home and they just sell it back right away, they'll have a problem with that. But you can always sell it for cash conventional. You can wait another like a duration and then sell it. No, you can sell. I think this lady had her house for like 4 years. She sold it because she got married and she moved with her husband. So that was the reason why she sold it, and she made that much money.
Mm-hmm.
And it was appraised that the property was appraised at that price. So that's the value, and that's what it sold for.
Wow.
And that's after she paid the realtors.
So
She paid the realtors, paid everything.
Stacy,
Huh?
in order to purchase,
Pardon me.
do you have to have a job in order to purchase a house?
You have to have a means of income. So when we speak, if you have a business like Andrea's is self-employed, she has her own business, she will be able to buy, but she has to show that she is like she's making money, like she's successful in the business. Well, yes. So what?
Real quick.
Pardon?
Real quick.
Yes.
You touched on something. Are you looking for self-employed individuals? Are you looking for a certain amount of what they make? Because you go by the tax papers and the gross.
The tax, yes. So what?
Would it be the net that they look at? Or they're looking at what the
which one? I always mix it up, and I was in HR. The gross is like the overall.
Right.
The gross. It's the gross, yeah.
They look at the gross. Okay. So that's something.
So what they do is they go ahead and they like for 2 years, they put like, say last year you made 30,000, this year you made 50, they put it together and just split it down the middle.
Okay.
And then of course, there are other factors
right.
that they will look at, your profit and loss statement, how much you made, how much you spent, and also your credits. You have to have some amount of money in the bank, because as opposed to someone who is a W-2 worker, they are they're getting their paycheck every week or every fortnight. And that's a different situation for us, even myself, because I am 1099. So I have to show that I have enough income just in case I don't make money a month, I'm able to pay my mortgage.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all they want to know.
Yes, ma'am. I can't wait to hand you your keys.
I know, right?
Yes.
My mansion, to my forever home.
Yes.
Bedroom.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's what it is. So do you have any specific questions about the real estate, the world of real estate? I know you're in New Jersey, Carol, and the law differ in some way, but it's basically the same generally. Like, the law differs from state to state, but then as with everything, but it's generally the same.
So you're in Florida and I'm in New Jersey. Then if I wanted to purchase a home, could I work with you or no?
So what you will do is you'll reach out to me, and then this is how we're collaborating. You ready for it?
Yep.
All right. So you reach out to me, you say, Stacy, I'm ready to purchase a home. And I say to you, know what, Carol, my license doesn't allow me to practice real estate in the state of New Jersey. However, I'm going to reach out to a realtor there. And by reaching out to that realtor will pay me 30 to 35% of her commission or his commission, because I referred you.
Okay.
So you're still putting money into my pocket. And I do that a lot. I work with realtors out of the state, and people have referred people to me as well. Like, say they're in New York and they don't, because I could literally get a license to practice in some states because there's a mutual recognition among the states.
Right.
But I currently only have a license for Florida. So if someone there, they say, you know what, Stacy, here's someone, I work with them, we sign that agreement. When we close, they get their money, I get my money. Everyone wins.
Form of working together with females.
Yes, and I'm very particular.
because
I'm very particular about that. I really, really always try to, because I know we have to work twice as hard. We have to, I've experienced male, my male counterparts trying to put me down, even in this business of real estate. And then I have an accent on top of it. Like, girl, you don't even know.
Yeah.
But you know, you have to, I went into this business because I'm a giver. And I always give 110%. So whether you're purchasing a $50,000 condo or you're purchasing a $500,000 home, it's the same effort that you'll get from me. And some people, you know, we have to do this work with diligence because this is the biggest purchase that some people will ever make in their entire life.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
some, it's a major, major sacrifice.
Yeah.
So you are, even if you're purchasing a home for $250,000, to you, that's what you can afford. I have to treat it as such. And that is what I do with whenever I talk to you. The first thing I have to ensure that you feel safe. You have to
Right.
be able to trust me with this process. Because if there's no trust, it's always going to be like headbutting. You know, like we may see a property and I say to you, Andrea, if you really like this property, we have to make an offer right away because I know tomorrow we come back, we won't have the property. You have to trust me.
Right.
You have to be able to trust me to say, Stacy is telling me the right thing. So
Yeah, that's
I'll
always
do.
something I wondered about, Stacy. And I'm so glad you mentioned that because I always say, what if the realtor just wants me to buy the property because they want my commission, they want the money or something? You know, if
And
I'm
I wish I could say that's not the case sometimes with realtors.
Yeah.
I was working with this gentleman and we made an offer. The first property that we made an offer on, he was so qualified, everything was in place for him. So the seller was excited with his offer. And we went ahead and made the offer. The offer was accepted, but it came back with they countered the offer. The things that they were asking for was out of this world. When I read it,
Yeah.
I went through it and I called my buyer and I explained. I said, this is what they're asking for, this, and this. Again, my responsibility is to present everything to my buyer, right? It is ultimately their decision. However, I am going to discuss with you what I think, exactly what it is saying, and the repercussions or possible repercussions from signing this, because it's a legally binding document.
Right.
And eventually he called me because this is someone that I knew. He called me and he said to me, what do you think? Talk to me as a friend, you know, not as a realtor, as a friend. And I said to him, you know what? It is this, I think if you were to sign this, it will later, it'll bite you in the butt, in other words. And he said, you know what? I am going to just continue looking if that's okay with you. I said, that's perfectly fine with me. Let's continue looking. We made a few offers, one that almost got to closing, but didn't close because he would have to, again, accept something that wasn't in his best interest. The purpose of this contract is to protect both buyer and seller.
Mm-hmm.
And if it can't be one where the seller's just getting, taking, and then the buyer, because he or she wants this property, they have to just accept all of your terms, right?
Right.
So eventually that didn't work out. He said to me the other day, and that made my day. He said, you know what? One thing I really appreciate is not about money for you, because this is how I look at it. If as a business person, outside of just being Stacy, the realtor, if I do good by you, Carol, and you are at your Thanksgiving dinner and some cousin Mary says, you know what? My husband and I are thinking about buying. The first thing you're going to say is, you know what? My realtor, you have to use her. She's so amazing. And that is the thing that people don't understand. My goal is not to just help this one deal in isolation, this one transaction, make it happen, and then never see this person again. or never talk to this person again. My buyers call me, Stacy, oh, the pipe broke. You know, do you know a plumber? I say, you know, I'm not a plumber. Yes, but you know, the house and this side, you know, the side over the left beside the refrigerator. And I'm trying to think which house. And then that is why I keep people. I say, you know what? Here's someone who can take care of that for you. And it's a relationship that I build with both sellers and buyers. For sellers, I make sure that I show the property. If it's vacant, then I allow a realtor to go show it. If it's occupied, I may present myself there, open it, show it to them. I mark it. I make sure I have my open houses to get it sold within the, you know, the fastest time possible. Right. And not only that, because I'm aware that you keep your accruing costs, the tax, the longer the property stays on the market, you are still responsible for the taxes. If there's a HOA, your homeowners association, you're still responsible for that. So this is a business it's a people business. And it's one that you have to do from the heart with diligence, and you cannot separate yourself from it.
Right.
You have to literally immerse yourself in it. And sometimes that's why I can't sleep, because I immerse myself so much. And I wake up thinking about it.
But that's great, right? Because for me, I know that that's the person I would want to represent me, to work with.
Thank you.
You know, somebody who's always good, well, maybe not always, but someone who does more than just sell me something and then done and walk away, bye, thank you for the
yes,
and then you're gone and I can't reach you ever again. So,
yes.
you know, that's a good thing. And I like that you're mentioning that, Stacy, because a lot of our listeners right now, they do listen to us because we stress, the name of our show is called Let's Connect. We stress having a connection, right?
Yes.
More compassion, more empathy, less judgment, really. It's just somebody who's compassionate, someone who can be empathetic. You're in the situation, you're selling a home to someone, you want that person to trust you, like you said.
Yes.
Trusting relationship, so to speak. We're not saying that you're gonna, you know, do everything for them and hold their hands like they're babies or whatever, but you're there with a professional, trusting relationship. And
yes.
Mention that because people listening, that's what they want to hear. And we try to our guests that we have on the show, that's what we try to bring in. All of our guests who come on are of that mindset as well. So I'm glad that you mentioned that. There you go, people. We got another one for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Stacy, just give them your contact information where they can hit you up.
Yeah, what's the name of your company or your business, where they can reach you, if you have a website, the whole thing.
Yes, so I am signed to North Star First Properties. That's my brokerage. And my email address is S as in Sam or Stacy, Drummond, DRUMMOND, realestate@gmail.com.
Okay.
And my phone number, this is actually my cell phone number. It is 754-422-9672.
So if you're planning on moving from up north, you want to get
yes.
No.
And I've had a few people moving and they're so amazed. I had this lady move from New York and I sold her home in Port St. Lucie. And Port St. Lucie's market is way more affordable than further south, you know? So the further south we go, the more it gets expensive. And she loves her home. It's spacious, nice, spacious, 3-bedroom.
No, they're coming from up north. You can't compare up north because you know up north is a matchbox.
It is, and that's why she was so amazed. So now her daughter is moving as well. So I did such an amazing.
People from up north, what areas do they kind of gravitate towards?
Well, it differs. It depends on the age group, the family structure. So I have people, a lot of them are intrigued with Port St. Lucie. Why? Because of the land space. So they're attracted to that. Why? Because it's, as Andrea pointed out, it's the complete opposite of what they're accustomed to.
Yeah.
So that the land space and the homes are bigger. You have some that move to Miami because of the nightlife and all of that. So it all depends. But most of them really move to Port St. Lucie or Palm Beach County.
Okay.
So we'll have Stacy's information on our Let's Connect page. You can reach out, and it will be also on our YouTube page. Stacy, make sure that you're subscribed to our Let's Connect YouTube page.
You
And
got it.
Yes.
also, I would love for you to put go on our page and say something nice about our show.
Yes.
Yes.
And I'll share it. I'll share it on my page as well.
Yes.
Because when we
Yes.
put that our episode on, which goes on every week, you hear that ding ding, so you'll know, hey, Let's Connect has a new episode.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So if
That
you
awesome notification. Ding, ding, ding.
Yes, it's time to connect with Let's Connect.
That's right.
You ladies are awesome. It was a pleasure being here today.
thank you, and you can stop by anytime.
Yes, I know that.
No, you're
One day I will come to the office, Andrea, and I'll sit with you during one of these sessions. Yes.
Yes.
yeah. Whenever hey, when I tell us it's snowing in Florida, oh, Stacy's there. Oh,
Oh my goodness. Then we know that's why it's snowing.
yes. I had to invite my friend on for an interview to see her beautiful face.
Oh, well, you know,
I love you, girl. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
that's what I say.
Yes, I'm trying to get people in homes, Andrea.
Okay, good. I'm not gonna knock your hustle, girl.
That's
Yes.
And Stacy, if you need voiceover for your professional voicemail system and stuff, I know you're gonna be hopping off, so I'm telling you before you leave.
Yes. So I will definitely get your information from Andrea, and I'll be reaching out to you.
She's actually in the group too, in the elite group.
Oh yeah, she is. Okay.
Yes, my dear.
All righty. Thank you, wonderful ladies, so much for this opportunity, and continue to uplift women and just people in general. You're doing an amazing job, and it's each one teach one.
Yep,
You
love
got
it. Thank you for
All righty.
time out. All right, love you, girl.
All right. Bye bye.
Stacy. And your family
Thank you.
now.
Yes, for
Well, you
sure.
already, but to the show. So you can
Yes.
come back anytime.
All righty. Thank you. Bye bye.
Yes, honey. Whew.
Yes, my dear. I just can't believe that Wednesdays roll by so quickly all the time. And then we get on here and we talk.
Chat. We don't talk with chat.
We chat till we don't even get tired.
Let me say,
After we chat so much, we still not tired. We can still chat another 3 hours.
what would the Jamaicans say? Eat fall, but why you talk so much? Love to talk, and
I don't know.
that's why we are on a talk show, people, so we can talk.
Right. We talk.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Man, I've been multitasking today. Have you seen that? Man,
I see you,
doing my thing. So,
girl.
yes, so we have a lot going on. So let me say this. We have a Mother's Day. We have a Mother's Day brunch coming up May 9th.
Okay.
Gonna be at the work bar. And it's going to Kim and I are putting and hosting it.
Okay.
May 9th from 11 to 2. From 11 to 2. And yeah, if you're in the South Florida area, it's gonna be 1515 North University Drive in Coral Springs. But we'll have all that information on our Facebook page, Instagram page, all of that.
Okay.
All right. And I'm moving to a
Yes.
I am
I
moving.
see all of your excited posts and stuff about your new space. It looks gorgeous.
Yes, when you step into a place and you just don't feel that. When I stepped in this place, I was like, what I call it, the feng shui, feng shui,
Feng shui.
feng shui. I just,
Yes.
this is it. This is what I've been looking for. This is what I'm getting, and I got it.
That's awesome, my dear. I
But
love it. I love it. But what colors are you? Well, we can talk about that offline. But for everybody, Reese is talking about her e-girl Friday work bar. What this is, again, me with the marketing, because Reese just skips over certain parts. So I'm going to impress upon you all this fabulous workspace that she has. We know we're in the pandemic, but if you're looking for office space outside of your own space, you're going crazy. She has all the COVID precautions that she takes. It is a gorgeous, beautiful space that you can go get your work done. It's outfitted with the Wi-Fi, the printers, the faxes, this and that, whatever you need. She has a professional space for you. And if you want to meet, if you have to have a meeting, and you can't have it virtually, or you don't want to have it virtually, there is a professional space that she has for this. So you can have meetings with clients, etc., that you may have to, if you have to meet up with them to show something, have a demonstration, etc., you can have your meeting in this professional space, and bring your clients to everybody. And it's called E-Girl Friday Work Bar. And she has a website, so you guys can go out to the website, check out the pictures. If you don't believe me, what's your website, Reese?
it's www.egirlfriday, V as in Victor, is in apple.com. And you'll actually see everything that I have to offer.
There you go.
All right. So
Gorgeous.
open house is April 3rd. So if you're in the South Florida area and you want to come in, I'm going to have music. I'm going to have finger foods. I'm going to have refreshments. So stop on by to see the space. If you're doing a podcast, it can be used for a podcast, YouTube filming, whatever you need to do.
Pop-up shop.
Pop-up shops. Yeah. So
Yeah.
come on by April 3rd. It's going to be from 10 to 4, I think.
Awesome. Awesome. I like that. And you're going to keep on advertising it and put up more information. So April 3rd, if you're in the Florida area, what area in Florida again?
Coral Springs.
Coral Springs. Make sure you check that out, and check out Reese's space, E-Girl Friday Work Bar. You don't want to miss it. I look at the pictures and I'm like, wow, it looks really nice. It's
Oh
a pleasant place to be.
Huh?
It looks like a pleasant.
Right. And the colors that I'm putting in is just like when you walk in, it's just,
I mean,
light.
of course you have a space now, and I love the space. I actually like the space that you have now with all the lighting and the windows and the colors.
Only thing I'm going to be missing the windows.
I like the windows personally, but I'm not gonna knock it. You have a bigger space now, more functional for even what you want. So
Yes.
yeah. So if people want to host a little party, you have paint and sip, or sip and paint.
Actually, we're having a hip hop reggae sip and paint party April 9th, something like that. Yeah.
Wow. April 9th, you're having that there at E-Girl Friday. Don't you have another? Where's the camp gonna be?
The camp is this week. That's why I'm busy.
Yes. So tell everybody about that again too.
It's spring break in Florida, so it's just 1 week. We're in 3 days now. It's just you can come in. Like tomorrow, we're having a spa day. They're gonna do the nails. They're gonna have the little mini facials. We've been doing jewelry making, arts and crafts. And we're actually gonna teach them about financial. Give them a little
Yes.
basic
Awesome.
basic, teachings.
Okay.
about
So
sa-
that's a camp that you're having for spring break. So parents, can parents still sign up for the camp?
I mean, it's 2 more days left. If they want to, they can. I mean, but it's 2 days left, so I'm gonna do it again in the summer.
Okay.
Have more time.
So if you missed the information, because we were putting out on our social media sites, on Let's Connect radio station, we put it out there as well as Reese has it on her page. It's been on the e-girl Friday site, so it's been all over social media. But in case you missed it, there's a camp happening at the e-girl Friday work bar,
Yes.
and it's for parents who are interested in ages.
A lot of
Girls, girls and boys, or just
no, it
girls?
was girls,
All girls, ages
8 to 16.
8 to 16.
But I know a lot of people, parents may be worried about the COVID, but there's a lot of social distancing, so is enough space. But I get it, you know. So we'll do it again in the summer and see how that works. By that time, the vaccine should be like,
Widely available, hopefully.
yeah. So.
But business goes on because you still have this place to run. So so you still, but what the reason we're talking about it is so everybody can have an idea of the various different uses of the space.
Yes.
You know, so if you're having a camp there, you know, you're having paint and sip parties, pop-up shops, this and that, if you want to have your business meetings there. So there are so many different things that you can use the space for, and it's a professional space, everybody.
And I'm like, I know we have the printing services. If you want to print, you can just email the office. We have it ready for you. You pick it up, you got it, you go. We have mail service. If you want to drop a package off, we got that too. So it's like a business center,
Yeah.
you know. So a lot of people work and they don't have that time. So
Yeah, absolutely.
yes,
So very good. That's e-girl Friday work bar. And before we go, also as usual, I just want to talk about, for me as well, my business, everybody, you guys know I'm in voiceover, the mouth. So I do voiceover. My voiceover company is called Lights Action Voiceover. You can find me on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Facebook, Instagram, and it's Lights Action Voiceover. Okay. And my name is Carol, as usual. And what voiceover really is, in a nutshell, I'm not going to preach at you guys, it's just using voice over video or something to demonstrate or to add to the market branding or the brand imaging of whatever products you have, whatever service you have. You know, a lot of times, sometimes you put up video and it has music, but it sometimes, depending on what the messaging or what your branding you want that voice overlaying your video. You know, you don't see my face, but you hear my voice talking about it, to tell you about the products or the services. You hear commercials on the radio, on television, you see it all the time. Hershey's commercials, a car commercial or something. That's voiceover. You don't necessarily see, sometimes you don't see the person talking, but you hear what they're saying. That's voiceover. You sit down and you watch a documentary on National Geographic or something. That's voiceover. You hear them talking about the tigers and the lions and the animals. That's voiceover. Or narration, or audiobooks. You know, you're sitting at home relaxing because you don't really want to have a physical book that you read, some people, because you're busy, or if you're driving, obviously you can't read a book, but you can listen to it. That's voiceover. Okay, someone reading it to you. So there are various different types of voiceover, but one that I love to talk about on this program is something simple, because a lot of us, especially during the pandemic, we started our small businesses, right? And we have a lot of small businesses to run. We don't have massive budgets, you know, like Disney and Coca-Cola or whatever, for massive commercials, or Toyota car commercials, you know, but we do have our business, small businesses that we run. And maybe you want something as simple as a professional voicemail. So when you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off, like Miss Reese here, because she's got her businesses to run and she's multitasking, you know, you can't get to the phone, but you don't want to lose your customers, right? You have your business to run, don't want to lose your customers. You can't answer the phone because you're already talking to another customer. So your voicemail picks up. You want a voicemail that's still going to tell the caller about your business and sell your product to them and let them know that you've heard them. Sorry you missed their call, but you will definitely call them back. But you want to use that as a selling point. and I keep on talking about that. But if you want to hear a sample of my voice, I think I put it in our chat, Reese. Let's connect.
All right, hold
Um,
on. You
so
know,
we'll just play a sample. Hang on one sec.
Thank
So,
you for calling.
hold on. Okay.
and this is just a voicemail sample. This is not an IVR, interactive voice response piece. It's just a simple voicemail to give you a sample of my voice in case you're not familiar with me.
All right.
Thank you for calling Grimsby Developments, developers of strikingly beautiful heritage homes at remarkably reasonable prices. To set up a meeting with a member of the Grimsby Developments team, press 1. To listen to homeowner testimonials, press 2. To speak with Mike Grimsby, press 3. To speak with the billing department, press 4. To leave a message in the company voicemail box, press 5. To review your options, press 6.
So again, that was a very quick and easy sample of a voicemail system. And it depends on what you want. Okay, we can craft it to whatever your voicemail needs to say about your business, and it becomes a selling point. All right, so reach out to me. It's called Lights Action Voiceover. I'm on YouTube. If you want to see some more samples, I have tons of samples on YouTube. I have tons of samples on my Instagram page, on Facebook, also on LinkedIn. Just check it out and then reach out to me. The email for my voiceover business is lights action voice lights action voicemail lights action voiceover at gmail.com. Lights action voiceover at gmail.com. And not to worry, it will be also a link will be in this episode on our Let's Connect YouTube page. All the links for today will be out there if you don't want to go search for it yourself. That's all right. If you just want to click on it, I'll put it there for you. Not to worry. I'll make it easy for you. Okay?
All righty. And with that being said, we just want to thank Stacy again for coming on and, talking to us. I mean, joining our discussion about working with women. And I hope that everyone that was listening today got something out of it. So want to thank her again for that.
Yes. We love you guys. And if you want to be a part of our talk show or radio show, just DM us. All right. And we'll respond to you. Look out. We post every week. We post the listings for what our topics are going to be. We post it in advance so you know what we're going to talk about. If you want to be a part of the discussion, feel free.
Like next week, we're talking about inmates entering the workforce. So if it's something that you want to talk about or you have experience, and you've been through it, please let us DM us and let us know. We'd love to have you on the show.
Yeah, we want to hear from you. If you have, it could be a family member, it could be a friend, whatever you know about that topic, we want to hear from you. And the topic, again, as Reese said, is inmates re-entering the workforce. Because as you can imagine, there are a lot of difficulties around that. Everybody probably have some thoughts about it. How hard is it to get a job?
It's hard enough getting a job and you don't have a record, much less you having a record, right?
Right.
So, yeah, we definitely would like, if anyone would love to participate in that discussion, DM us and we'll be more than happy to have you on the show.
Yeah, we want to hear from you, please. We encourage it, as you know, and we tell you this every week. We encourage it. We're open to it as long as, we're not doing a ton of cursing and any negative, and we don't bash anybody on this show. We want to hear your thoughts. We want you to be honest, but, we don't bash anyone here. Okay.
On a learning experience.
Yeah, this is a learning platform, people, where we share. We don't compare. Oh, I just made that up.
What?
You like that? This is where we see, my kid loves when I do that. She thinks I'm so corny, but This is a learning platform where we share, we don't compare. How about that, huh?
I hear you.
How about that, huh? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm so corny.
All right.
Listen, you got to be happy with yourself. Listen,
You can't be laughing at yourself.
you got to be able to laugh at yourself, make fun of yourself.
One
It's
of myself every day.
it's all right. I know you guys like me.
Like her.
You know what I forgot to ask Stacey Ann? It's North Star First Properties. Is this like 4 different words? North Star First Properties.
That's her brokerage.
Yeah, but I don't know how it's spelled. Is it like first is the number 1 and blah blah? I don't know. I'll write it that way and she'll let me know.
There's my friend, the perfectionist.
You know it. It's got to be right. It's got to be right. What do I look like misleading our precious audience members and our co-hosts and guests? I can't mislead people.
Especially if it's number 1 or it's spelled out like,
Especially that, Of course. Are you kidding me?
Oh,
Sending people down the wrong place or sending them to the wrong company site. Oh, no, 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 no. We cannot do that. We
man.
must be professional and have it properly done.
I tell you.
Oh, I'm goofing off now, but I wanted to, before we go, our last thing, right?
Yeah.
That we're yapping about. I saw something on television about one of our favorite cereal, General Mills cereal. And this gentleman found in his Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal, he found shrimp tails in it, in the bag. And then even in the bag that's sealed, he found dental floss.
What?
Yes, in the bag that's sealed. It's so gross. He found dental floss. And there's like some black marks on the cereal. And he's wondering if it could be like rat droppings or something. And that's detrimental to human beings. All right. If we consume that. So they're worried about that, wondering about that. He's taking tests and stuff at the Poison Control Center and all of that right now. But that's in the cereal, girl. So you've got to make sure. Ever since I saw that, I take it out and I'm looking and I'm checking the bag. Check your cereal, people. It's from General Mills. Okay. If you guys didn't hear this on the news, he found, and some people have shellfish allergies. Shrimp tails.
Eat shrimp.
And then they had the nerve initially to just look at the picture because he posted it on Twitter. And they looked at the picture and somebody from the company just, nonchalantly responded and said, oh, maybe it's just like the sugar clumps or cubes of the way the sugar clumped up. And you can clearly see that these are shrimp tails, And if that is consumed by someone while they just scooping up like me when we're not paying attention and we're multitasking like you over there right now, Miss Reese. And just digging in, like me when I'm doing my prep for the show and stuff, I'm not paying attention. I'm just like shoveling a spoon of cereal into my mouth. I would be one of those people who just shovel it into my mouth, swallow that stuff, probably cut my throat.
How much lunch we eat already?
Ew. Ew. Everybody start with that.
I know, right?
Everybody start with that. You said that I'm gonna just feel like more and just bring back everything.
Face right now. I love
face. You see my face when you said that because immediately me start imagine. Racy, come on, man! You just threw me off.
I know. All righty, so we gotta wrap up, and wrap up, and we will we'll hear each other next week.
Yes. And some of you'll see us because you will see us on the live.
All righty. All right. So thank you again for joining us.
And check this episode out on YouTube. Okay. It's going to be on YouTube. And when you go out there, everybody, please support us by subscribing. That's the way we can eventually monetize the show. If we have enough subscribers and enough viewers, we can, because I think you'll agree, we bring you the good content, educational content. So the way that you can support us, if you can't send us money, if you can't write us a check, then you can subscribe to us so that we can then monetize with YouTube. Okay? Support us.
All
We
right.
love you. We thank you. Again, this is the show called Let's Connect, everybody. And every week we are here on Wednesdays from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as usual, what we say is the show where you find
More compassion
more empathy,
and less
less
judgment.
judgment. Thank you, everybody. We love you. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.